In the world of stories, people who transmigrate are often seen as the chosen ones in many tales. They get sent to alternate worlds with buffs that let them wreak havoc everywhere they go, moving mountains and filling seas, or even slaying gods and annihilating Buddhas. If not that, they'd use unbeatable modern knowledge to defeat people in the other world, or they might have unmatched talents, countless admirers. In the end, they'd conquer the goddess and stand at the pinnacle of life. Our main character is Li Zuo, 18 years old. Today, he officially transmigrates to the western border of the St. Paul Empire. You can hear someone panting heavily. The goblins are here. A group of knights is struggling as they are chased by a horde of goblins. The silver-haired knight urgently warns, "Miss, run quickly. There's a small town ahead. You'll be safe there." Just as he finishes speaking, an arrow flies in, claiming his life. That is the Goblin tribe, a ferocious and savage group. Witnessing this, the companions are too shocked to utter a word. Suddenly, from the front, a staff emerges, radiating a tremendously powerful aura. Turns out, it's the strength of the team leader, the young miss, who immediately uses a second-grade magic trick, the freezing spell. The goblins instantly turn into statues, unable to even sneeze. Seeing the goblins frozen before her, the young miss is contemplative. She is Falanga, daughter of Grand Duke Fadim, a magic apprentice. She possesses an ice bloodline, studies ice magic, making her temperament as cold as ice, and she remains calm no matter what she faces. Sarah notices Falanga's exhaustion and asks worriedly, "Young miss, using magic here will attract chaotic spirits." Falanga looks at her hand. The evil god's mark is bleeding again. This time, what will it lead to? The guard continues to persuade. "You are the only bloodline of Grand Duke Fadim. You must survive at all costs." That's right, Falanga thinks to herself. It's all because of that man. Falanga recalls her memories. He sacrificed everyone in the duchy, just to avenge that person. I have to stay calm, she bites her lip and endures. The goblins are charging again. As the words fall, the remaining goblins ferociously rush forward. "Kill them," Sarah urgently reminds Falanga. "Miss, let me cover you. You go on ahead." Suddenly, a goblin unexpectedly shoots an arrow at them. The arrow strikes the guard, causing her to cry out, "Get away!" The two of them join forces and swing their swords to fend off the goblins. "Miss, we've been surrounded." From atop a tree branch, a creature seems to be watching the battle. It leaps down to attack Falanga from above. With a crash, not knowing what happened, the goblin manages to pin Falanga down, pressing a blade to her throat as a threat. "Miss!" Sarah exclaims with utter shock, but due to her lapse of concentration, she gets attacked by another goblin. Immediately, the rest of the goblins swarm and tear her apart to her death. Falanga can only watch helplessly. "Sarah, I'm truly sorry." Not giving her a moment of peace, the horde of demons quickly rushed forward, dragging Falanga away. Seeing these bloodthirsty, fierce demons, she could only think to herself, "Well, looks like this is the end of the line for me." But she didn't want to give up. She wasn't willing. "Anyone," Falanga stretched her hand forward, "even if it's an evil deity, as long as you can save me, I'm willing to give up everything." Just as she finished speaking, a flash of light appeared, surprising even Falanga. "What is this?" She squinted to see clearly what was in front of her. "Is this a god?" From above, it seemed like someone was descending rapidly. The horde of demons saw this sight, and hurriedly shouted for each other to look up. With a loud bang, only dust and smoke flew everywhere. Falanga stood agape, shocked by this scene. Even her cold, icy bloodline couldn't keep her calm. She once again recalled memories of that moment. Because she saw a chaotic, naked evil deity, Falanga's eyes widened in astonishment. The person who just landed was none other than Li Zuo. Bewildered by what was happening, wearing nothing at all, he looked around. What's going on? Wasn't I just in midair a moment ago?" After noticing the demons at his feet, he was startled. "What are these corpses? Why am I naked?" Suddenly, a system voice chimed in. "The live stream system has been activated. The host should maintain their image." Out of nowhere, a live stream screen appeared, with countless comments from netizens below. "Live stream? What the heck?" Li'ain Zuo was confused. "I didn't start any live. What on earth is happening here?" The system explained. "Since the system linked with the camera has become your eyes, you have to stream 8 hours a day to turn it off. In short, you've transmigrated." Li Zuo just stood there, shell-shocked. Flashback to 30 minutes earlier at some construction site, the arrogant manager, holding a loudspeaker, shouted out Lin Zuo's name. "I'm counting to 3. Leading a few of his subordinates, he said, "If you don't show up by then, I'll fire you." Suddenly, something made him open his eyes wide in astonishment. "I'm coming right away, boss," Li Zuo said as he rode a motorbike from the front, popping a wheelie. He parked the bike rather clumsily. Finished, he scratched his head as if he'd accomplished something huge. "Sorry, boss. I had a little something to take care of." Lin Zuo. The boss's face turned livid with anger. "You brat, you'd better not be running off to deliver food again, right?" "No way," Li Zuo explained. "I swear I wasn't. Sorry, boss. I'll be more careful next time. Sorry isn't gonna cut it, you little punk. If you don't finish the project, there won't be any money for your salary, you know." His two subordinates chimed in. "Li Zuo, why do you keep going AWOL every day? Isn't it just wasting the boss's money? Don't you want to work anymore? Your father is addicted to gambling, loses and bets even more, borrowed tens of millions of yuan, lost it all, and disappeared. Your mother has just been diagnosed with cancer, needing a huge treatment fee. Your sister has worked hard, got into a top university, but also faces the pressure of tuition. The family's burden falls entirely on you. This responsibility weighs heavily on you. Do you want to lose this job?" They kept mocking Li Zuo. "Boss, why not let him handle all our work as punishment? Not a bad idea, let's do it." Standing atop the towering construction site, Li Zuo's voice echoed, "Hello, good morning, to my lovely ice cream family. So you're working while live streaming with birds. Hello, comrades. I'm Li Zuo. Zuo as in looking for trouble. And this is the live bird stream from a construction worker's room at a building site. On the screen, Lin Zuo's body is subtly revealed bit by bit. Don't forget to follow everyone. He's using his charming body to plead for donations." However, Li Zuo looks at his phone screen worriedly. Performing for half the day and not a single new fan, just 2 followers. One loyal fan who followed as soon as the stream started, and the other clearly a bot of the platform. Lin Zuo is left stunned, staring at the screen as if in disbelief. On the screen, only a few sparse comments from the very few viewers. A few days ago, someone in black approached Lin Zuo, asking if he wanted to earn money, telling him to sign the live stream contract, and he'd gain everything he desired. He bit his lip in frustration. The contract had harsh conditions, demanding 9 parts monthly, leaving only a bit for himself. But to make money, he decided to try this live streaming path, also needing to pay 2,000 yuan a month, a ridiculous clause. On another note, a girl watching Lin Zuo's livestream smiled slyly. The recently arrived person is Lin Zuo, who stands dumbfounded by what's happening. Lin Zuo, meanwhile, covers his face in disappointment, thinking that at this rate, forget paying the platform fee, he can't even support his household. He imagines debt collectors coming to his house, demanding, "Your dad owes us money, kid, pay up." Then he thinks of his mom, where the family's well-being rests on him, and his little sister. "Brother, maybe I should quit school to work, we have no money left." "No way," Lin Zuo thinks in panic. He looks at the screen determined. For his family's sake, he must bounce back. And besides, someone asks Li Zuo, "Is that a fake background?" "Fake," Lin Zuo asks back, remembering his sister waiting for him. Suddenly, Lin Zuo's phone drops unexpectedly. "Ah," he gasps, not fully realizing what's happening. Next moment, somehow, he and his phone are falling from a tall building. "Oh no, why am I jumping?" Ling wonders, dumbfounded. "Oh crap, the family's debts aren't even paid off yet." Li Zuo stands there, mouth agape in shock. Back to reality. After putting on the clothes the Monster Bunch had on, Li Zuo asks Falanga, "So, you're telling me when I crossed over here I crushed a bunch of monsters?" At this point, Li Zuo doesn't realize how he currently looks in the female magician's eyes, while Falanga regards him cautiously as if thinking, "Is this the demon god I summoned? Just escaped a wolf's den, only to fall into a tiger's mouth?" In Falanga's view, Lin Zuo looks no different than a naked demon god. She tries to calm herself, remembering her teacher said some demon gods demand a low price, it's worth probing first. "Respected lord," Falanga speaks, startling Li Zuo. "Whoa, there's someone here. Didn't expect I could understand this alien language." Turns out the system translated the language of this world for him. Falanga is also being broadcasted through Li Zuo's live stream. "Thank you for saving me. May I ask for your honorable name?" "The witch is really beautiful," Li Zuo says, admiring Falanga. Suddenly, A loud boom erupts. The noise catches both of their attention, making them turn. Ha 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 ha, found you. Turns out the goblin warlord Gulaga has arrived. What kind of monster is this? Lianzuo hesitated, wondering to himself. Gulaga sneered wickedly, his eyes glowing red as he stared at Falanga and Lianzuo. You're the one who killed my subordinates, aren't you? Falanga trembled with fear. Goblin warlord? Why is a mid-ranking fighter like that here? Lianzuo listened and realized. So this is a world with magic? According to legends, they're said to have endless strength, capable of knocking a knight's head off with a single punch. Their stone armor can withstand all sorts of damage, even blocking siege crossbows. They're practically town fortress killers. The image of Gulaga displayed on the screen attracted a massive audience, with viewer and fan numbers skyrocketing. Lianzuo glanced at the screen, feeling a bit chicken-hearted. If I fight this, I'm totally dead. How come I just got to this strange world and I'm already facing certain death? System, is there any buff to help me kill it quickly? However, the system replied. The lottery draw system isn't activated yet, while the audience's comments buzzed like a beehive. No buffs at all. Then maybe I should just scram, Lianzuo said, making Oni-chan, the fool, wonder out loud. Is this dummy really thinking of running away? Suddenly, it seemed like she thought of something. Right after that, Oni-chan, the fool, announced a mission. Defeat the goblin warlord. This mission made Lianzuo's jaw drop. Why? The system even recorded it, congratulating Oni-chan, the fool, on becoming the first captain on your crew. Hey everyone, Lianzuo hurriedly shouted. This isn't a game, I've transmigrated. Charging in is suicidal. However, nobody in the comments believed a word Lianzuo said. The system notified. As a captain, you've earned 198. The platform takes 9 parts, leaving the streamer with 198 yuan. Upon receiving the notification, Lianzuo cursed. Damn, money-grabbing gacha game? What kind of crappy buff is this? The comments section immediately went wild, criticizing the game as being no different from a betting game. Gulaga couldn't wait any longer and bellowed, HMPH, daring to zone out in front of me. Die, he shouted, lifting his axe ready to strike. Seeing this, Lianzuo panicked. Screw it, I'm drawing. He hurriedly pressed the draw 10 times button. As soon as he pressed it, 10 tickets appeared. Oh dear, this looks like the hideous gacha screen from some ancient cultivation game. Unexpectedly, the item the system spat out was a lump of something nasty. Golden Dragon Pill, a demon core of the Dragon Clan, said to have the power to move mountains and fill seas. This is just a piece of crap, Lianzuo was indignant. How am I supposed to use this thing? Lianzuo wondered, holding the lump in his hand. While Lianzuo was still fretting over how to use this piece of crap, Gulaga was already closing in from behind. Sir, watch out! Falanga shouted loudly. Suddenly, a hand reached out to grab the axe. This move left Gulaga utterly stunned. In front of him, Lianzuo seemed to have undergone a transformation. With just a light squeeze, he crushed Gulaga's axe. This was Lianzuo's draconic true form, his whole body enveloped in an overpowering aura. Just a mere little demon. And you dare challenge a true lord? Scoundrel, he summoned a flame in his hand. Turn to ashes. This is... The blazing light in Lianzuo's hand blinded Gulaga. In the end, Lianzuo unleashed the 3-fire dragon technique, obliterating Gulaga in an instant. On the continent of Candia, humans have claimed dominance, establishing order with the light faction as leaders, protecting human light from the corruption of abyssal demons. In the chaotic abyss, there are 3 powerful abyssal demon gods constantly wishing to destroy the world. But because of the hindrance from the order-protecting faction, they can only send their subordinates to infiltrate the human world and corrupt humans, aiming to break through human strongholds from within. The evil entities that corrupt everything enter this world through sacrifices, and are known as dark gods. Lianzuo's appearance right now is no different than that of a dark god. Blood splattered all over the space. Dark Godmaster Gulaga, engulfed in Samadhi true fire, screamed endlessly. Why? He gradually turned to ashes. Right after that strike, only a devastated scene was left on the ground. Falanga widened her eyes in shock. Just one move melted a goblin warlord capable of resisting high-level magic. She looked at Lianzuo with admiration. Never before had she seen such powerful fire magic. So strong. What kind of price will I have to pay for summoning a dark god this powerful? Suddenly, the system announced. The host's body cannot withstand the power of the dragon core. 20 seconds left until incineration by samadhi true fire. Li Zuo now felt the heat and shouted, "It's too hot!" The system continued. First time using the dragon core can easily result in incineration. Would the host like to use the post-purchase customer service? This made Li Zuo quickly nod. "Yes, I want to. I'm dying over here." He looked over at Falanga next to him. System has taken over the body. Detected life-saving artifact. Initiating post-purchase customer service. Seeing Li Zuo lifting her chin, Falanga worried. Is it happening now? Is the Dark Godmaster going to turn me into a mindless puppet? What's this system planning to do? Li Mala also didn't understand what he was doing, the system explained. Found a cauldron with ice bloodline, commencing dual cultivation. Suddenly, Li Nizubayo's body, acting on its own, lunged and kissed Falanga. The kiss caught her off guard. Inside her, her soul entered another space. A voice echoed, "Ha ha ha, no sacrifice can escape slaughter sacrifice." It turned out to be the voice of the Dark God, Falanga worried. Oh no, the Dark God's mark is activating again. Falanga's whole body was in continuous pain. I can't suppress it any longer. Am I about to fall? Suddenly, a light appeared behind Falanga. The Dark God inquired, "Who are you?" Turned out, Li Zuo somehow appeared behind Falanga. His gaze radiated killing intent. With just one look, the existence of the Dark God was overshadowed. It screamed, "No!" With a crash, water splashed everywhere. The Dark God had been purged. Falanga let out a peculiar sound. She broke through to a new level. The evil god's mark was suppressed. Her witch rank that was sealed by the mark has been loosened. Plus, the magical power was continuously being transmitted from his mouth into her body. Her witch rank has leveled up. On the screen, people witnessed the two of them kissing, and public opinion went wild. Falanga blushed and tightly shut her eyes. Is he trying to absorb my soul like this? How evil. But nothing happened. The only thing that did was Lin Zuo returned to his original form. The system immediately announced, cooling down successful, host has fainted, returning control. Finally, Li Zuo was in a daze. In a moment of weakness, images of his creditors appeared in his mind. They said, "Your father owes money he refuses to pay. We will take your house as collateral." And also, when he was in the hospital, the doctor said, "Sorry, because you don't have money, your mother's condition has worsened." Brother, even an image of Lian Zuo's younger sister appeared, she said. "Because there's no money to pay for tuition, I've been expelled. I hate you." Thinking of those scenes, Lian Zuo couldn't help but shout, "Sister!" But there was no sister here, only Falanga beside him. Li Zuo was even lying on her lap. "Oh great evil god, you're awake. Does the great evil god have a sister too?" "What?" Li Zuo blushed and questioned himself. "This girl is really beautiful." Falanga's face appeared on the live broadcast screen. Many people even praised her. This beauty would at least be a 9 out of 10 in the real world, right? At the same time, Leon Zucona discovered that he could comment on his own live stream by imagining. Turns out his thoughts were being read by the netizens. Falanga worriedly said to him, "I saw you faint, so I set up a tent right here to wait for you to wake up. Thank you for not killing me." Li Zuo was confused about what happened. Am I lying on her lap? Where are my clothes? Realizing the situation, Li Zuo leaned back and shouted, "Sorry, beauty. I didn't mean to use your lap as a pillow." Ahem. "Hello, miss. My name is Li Zuo. I live at 606 Haosheng Street next to the Li family rooftop barbecue." Rooftop barbecue? Haosheng Street? Is that a lair of some lord in a certain layer of the abyss? Falanga frowned and wondered. Great one. Wait a moment. I'll go fetch some water and be right back. Hearing that, Lin Zuo breathed a sigh of relief, while Falanga silently went outside. No way. I need to go outside to calm down first. Think of some strategy. Lin Zuo's gaze dimmed. Finally, I've managed to get through. Wait, I think I did something with her before I passed out. Oh, I can't remember. As for Falanga, she stepped outside with a solemn mood. Is this evil god a lord with territory in the chaotic abyss? Earlier when he kissed me, he didn't defile me, so it seems like he's an evil god inclined towards lust. Just don't know what or where Rooftop Barbecue and Haosheng Street are. Sounds strange. Not sure which layer of the chaotic abyss they're in. Falanga. Oh, Falanga. Did you forget you're the daughter of a Grand Duke? Falanga's eyes became serious. If he is an evil god with territory, then the plan has to change. I need to figure out a way to establish an equal contract with him. Falanga's expression was incredibly determined. Only then could you take revenge on that person. Meanwhile, Lin Zuo was desperately trying to explain, "Guys, you have to listen to me. I've really transmigrated to another world. You all saw it. Please call the police for me." But no one believed him in the comment section. Some even thought he was overacting. "Sheesh, I can't believe. No one believes me." "All right," Lian Zuo shouted. "System, take me back to the main screen." The system appeared, displaying all of Li Zuo's information from this world and on the screen in front of him. "What the heck?" Li Zuo wondered. "System, what's this transform into a flood dragon thing?" The system explained. Transforming into a flood dragon happens when you don't have a suitable cultivation method. Your body will change abnormally, and in 3 days, you'll become a flood dragon beast. Hearing this, Lian Zuo panicked and called out to the system, "System, help me." The system, as opportunistic as ever, replied, "Recharge for a chance to change your fate, young man. Just draw the Gilong Shuanggong scripture, and the system will teach you the cultivation method to control the dragon bloodline." Li Zuo quickly tapped the screen in front of him. 198 yuan. Oh, did I just gain another captain earlier? As soon as he clicked to draw, the system released various items. They were all strange items Li Zuo had never seen before, including the Gilong Shuanggong scripture and clothes. "Nice!" Lian Zuo exclaimed happily. Although viewers thought he was cheating, he had drawn a cultivation method already and immediately started training and equipping the clothes. "What is this feeling?" After equipping, Li Zuo couldn't shake the strange sensation, the system explained. "Successfully learned the first layer of Gilong Shuanggong. Continue drawing to elevate the layers. The system has waived the price. The wave pattern gem cloak has been equipped. Continue drawing to elevate levels. Gilong Shuanggong, first layer. Introductory cultivation technique exclusive to the dragon tribe, created by the Taoist Huo Long. Only those with dragon lineages can practice it, and it grants the dragon tribe spiritual energy. Passive effect, can enhance your whole body's defensive energy. Active effect, yin flame, transformation, price, transforming into a mute dragon beast if not devouring 10 people's hearts daily. Price has been waived." Cultivation methods have 7 stages, each divided into 3 realms: entry, advancement, and perfection. Only by cultivating to the Wuhua stage can you break the void and return to Earth. "What the heck?" Li Zuo was astonished. "Looks like I need to think this through carefully, but first, I need to find a way to make money. Oh right, I think I drew some other items earlier. Why am I on this devil cultivation path? Even the items seem quite unreliable," Li Zuo thought as he looked over the items he got from the draw. These included amethyst jade teapot, which could make tea with unknown other capabilities and could store a lot of drink. Anyone drinking tea from this pot would become addicted. Effect removed by the system. Military bean, tear it into warriors with strength linked to caster's realm, capable of betraying the master. Corpse demon pill, slowly heals but causes body odor when eaten too much. Purple true fruit, restores spiritual energy but causes foot odor when eaten too much. Green valley pill, fills the stomach but causes gas when eaten too much. Dimensional ring, unlimited container capable of storing 10 cubic meters of dead matter. Li Zuo used the dimensional ring to store all items inside. Forget it, I'll research them when I have time. Dimensional ring, absorb, mission accomplished. His eyes lit up like car headlights. Li Zuo donned his new clothes, earning the title of Lianqi Disciple in the Qi Gathering entry stage. All right, the clothes are on. What's next? Activating the dragon's profound art. Li Zuo's hand suddenly transformed into a dragon's claw. A fierce flame, birthed from his hand, appeared out of nowhere. This impressive act fascinated his audience, who cheered wildly. Among them, Oni-chan was the fool who gifted items to Lian Zuo. Curious about the gift effect from the audience, Lian Zuo decided to try it out. Using the glowing stick effect prop, just as he finished speaking, Falanga returned from outside, saying, "Milord, I'm back." But surprisingly, Falanga blushed, her eyes wide in astonishment. "You're back, are you?" Lian Zuo asked with an intimidating expression, his eyes gleaming like a demon's. Falanga immediately dropped to her knees. "I was wrong. You mustn't look directly into a deity's eyes." She trembled at Lian Zuo's ominous gaze. Staring at Li Zuo, Falanga thought to herself, "Even an evil god is still a god. His gaze pierces straight into my mind, leaving me immobile." However, due to the glowing stick's effect, her thoughts were exposed. "Did he just see my thoughts?" she worried. "I can't believe I was even imagining forming a pact of equality. Abandon such delusions." She gritted her teeth, trembling as she spoke. "Milord, my name is Falanga," she began to explain. "I'm the daughter of the Grand Duke of the Western Territory. My nation and family were sacrificed to the Abyss Demon by a traitor of the Light Church, and I'm being hunted down, as you've seen," her voice full of earnestness. "All my guardians have been slain. I'm willing to become one of your family if you protect me until I reach Lantis City. Lin Zuo was taken aback, cold sweat forming as he thought, what the heck, what's wrong with this girl? We just met and she already wants to become my family. Where the heck is Lantis City anyway? Sounds like a hassle, and I still need to think of a way to make money and head home. Guess I should just act aloof and turn her down, he mused, running his hand through his hair to look cool. Hey, just for this little price and you want me to act? As he spoke, Li Manzuo grappled internally. What am I even saying, damn it? I can't help but start pretending. You know what I want, right, Miss Falanga? I'm well aware, Falanga sighed heavily. I knew it wouldn't be that simple. Go, Falanga. For vengeance. Facing the lascivious, evil god, this was the price she had to pay. Without a word, she stepped forward and began to unbutton her top in front of Li Zuo. Taken aback, Li Zuo's jaw dropped, and he stammered, WH, what are you doing? Falanga's gaze didn't hesitate, making the decision to go Falanga. Seeing Falanga's action, Li Zuo's face turned green and he quickly looked away. Is he unhappy? Falanga blushed, feeling awkward, wondering if she's already too late. At this moment, Li Gunzuo was like a young man meeting a pretty girl for the first time, thinking, what's she doing? Telling me to escort her, and even threatening to take off her clothes if I don't agree. He tried to keep calm despite sweating cold, but even he could not protect himself now. Maybe he should just refuse her. The actions of the two had become the source of mockery online. The enemy is embarrassed. Let me undress him. Oh my, NPC stripping. Interesting, said another viewer watching the live stream. The mysterious girl began typing something on her keyboard. Going by the nickname, You Are the Queen, she donated a large sum to Li Zuo with a message. Streamer, if you accept this mission, I'll become your fleet captain. It turns out, this generous viewer was a female CEO named Bai Ji. Sipping coffee, she laughed. Amusing. I didn't expect just relaxing and watching a live stream would lead me to such an interesting one. Thanks, boss lady. Li Zuo joyfully received the donation. Finally some income again. Suddenly, he realized something. Wait a minute. I remember. The live stream room is still in reality. Does that mean I can withdraw cash so I can live stream in another world, scam for gifts, earn money, pay debts to support my little sister and mom? He imagined becoming rich, surrounded by beautiful girls, reaching the peak of life. Falanga, go ahead and strip. Li Zuo looked at Falanga's attractive body. All right. He moved forward, grabbing Falanga's shoulders. My lady, just like this, your sincerity has moved me. I agree with you. I'll accompany you on this journey. After all, I am truly a gentleman. As he finished speaking, blood trickled from Lin Zuo's nose, revealing his perverse side, making Falanga break out in cold sweat. Indeed, a lustful demon. Upon receiving the agreement, Falanga bowed in gratitude. Thank you, sir. I will fulfill my duties as your person. Immediately, Bai Ji became Li Zuo's fleet captain. The system announced. Mission given by the boss lady in the livestream is complete. Having a fleet captain earns you 100 fans. Suddenly, Li Zuo's stomach growled loudly. Falanga suggested, Sir, I'll go prepare some food for you now. Half an hour later, she presented a plate of midnight fried fish. Sir, please enjoy. This is the last of our food. Are you sure this is edible? Li Zuo froze and asked. Falanga, knowing it wasn't, just apologized. She began an internal struggle. Oh no, I'm a noble, always used to being served. Falanga, oh Falanga, have you forgotten you've never cooked in your life? How disgraceful. However, Lin Zuo wasn't angry. He laughed and said, Ha 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 ha, it's okay, let me do the cooking. Falanga was surprised. The demon lord wants to personally cook for me. Li Zuo pointed. Could you please go to the stream and fetch me some water? He took out a teapot from the lottery system. Use this teapot, it can hold an entire lake. Falanga's eyes widened at the sight of this thing. It's an enchanted item, and what's more, it's imbued with the rarest spatial attribute. Enchanters are the most prestigious profession in this land, and their numbers are incredibly scarce compared to other professions. Among them, space and time are the rarest elements. Wizards who wield this power are already few, let alone those whose profession is an enchanter among them. Falanga eyed the bottle Li Zuo handed over with suspicion. Spatial enchanting items could only be crafted by the great sage in the royal court, right? No wonder he's called the evil god. Even his water bottles are top-tier enchanted items. This thing, once it reaches the capital, will definitely cause a frenzy. Wait a minute, Li Zuo quickly interrupted. It might not be safe out here. He took out a bean from his pocket and handed it to Falanga, then he tossed it to the ground, where it erupted in a small explosion. From within, a demonic spirit emerged, laughing heartily. "Ha ha ha, my seal is finally broken. Is this turning a bean into a soldier?" Falanga marveled. As the haze dissipated, the spirit's true form gradually became clear. It turned out to be a rather comical skull, called Zun Lang. It looked around confusedly. "Who are you guys? Why does this not seem very reliable?" Liu Zuo muttered, stroking his chin. "Didn't expect you to be so cute. Let's call you Little Tuan Feng. I am the great Zun Lang, mountain guardian, not some little Tuan." He was about to roar in defiance, but suddenly paused. "Wait a second." He looked at Li Zuo, trembling all over. "That's the aura of the dragon tribe, even more powerful than my previous master's aura." Seeing this, he immediately changed his tone. "This humble one is Zun Lang, mountain guardian of the Demon Mountain sect's Little Tuan Peak. Thank you, immortal, for bestowing a name. Please, if there's anything to command." This attitude made Lin Zuo's skin crawl. It didn't seem very trustworthy. "Oh, never mind, it can't be anything too major," he said. "Take Miss Falanga to the lake for water, and hunt something to bring back. Can you do that?" He added, "I'll be chopping some wood for the fire. You two be careful on the way." Falanga and Zun Lang simultaneously departed. "Master, we're off." Deep within the dangerous forest, Falanga looked at Zun Lang in disbelief. Is this low-level bone soldier a subordinate of the master? But it seems to have intelligence. My master once said usually only legendary grade bodies revived by necromancers have a chance of gaining intelligence, she recalled, gritting her teeth. Zun Lang noticed Falanga staring. "What are you looking at, milk cow?" "I am a mighty guardian, bestowed a title by the immortal himself. I'm quite powerful, you know." Nonetheless, Falanga remained skeptical, unable to see it. "A title, granted by the evil god, akin to the evil god's mark on my hand." Zun Lang sighed. "How could the immortal notice a woman like you with no spiritual power whatsoever? We must know our place. Understand." Wait a moment, he suddenly realized something. Something's up. He looked into the distance. Birds scattered, and the sound of fighting echoed from afar. Elsewhere, a knight was shouting in desperation, "Protect the Baroness!" Suddenly, a cold, spiked mace slammed into his face. Behind him, Sam watched as more soldiers struggled in battle, seemingly facing a grave threat. "The team facing danger is led by the guard captain Fredge," he shouted loudly. "Why are you raiding all the way here? Impossible! The arch-nemesis of humans." A thunderous footstep echoed. The beastman Toutier appeared. In front of him stood a monstrous beast with a terrifying expression, its hands wielding a fearsome claw, slaughtering the entire formation. It laughed heartily. "I can smell the scent of fear." Rumor has it that due to the immense contributions in defending the western borders, they usually reside in the Shifeng grasslands. The Toutier tribe is one of the 8 main beastman tribes there, known for adorning themselves with the weapons of defeated foes as a display of pride. Their infamy widely spread. Why have they invaded human territory? Despite their cries, the Toutier beastmen continued to massacre the entire squad. Another desperate scream sounded. The defense line has been breached. The Toutier beastmen, with their ferocious faces, sharp cold teeth, and bloodthirsty demeanor, seemed eager to devour the entire cavalry. "Prepare to die, humans!" A beastman wielding an axe charged forward, intending to strike a mighty blow. Unexpectedly, Captain Fredge blocked it with his shield. He struggled with all his might to withstand the fatal axe strike from the Toutier beastman. "Help, Fredge!" From behind Fredge's carriage, a woman peeked out, worry in her voice as she called out, "My lady!" Then Frege looked up towards the top of the carriage, calling out to the archer, Elizabeth. "Act quickly," he begged Elizabeth. "If you save the Baroness, the Baron will surely grant your request. I swear on my novice position." As soon as he finished speaking, Elizabeth tossed her hat aside. "You said it." Under the hooded cape was a young woman with a striking figure, leaping into battle. On her first strike, Elizabeth hit a Toutier beastman. One by one, the others quickly fell to her attacks. "This is the remarkable power of the elf wanderer, Elizabeth Wind." From atop the carriage, Baroness Jennifer scolded, "You useless fools! You're getting blood all over my clothes. Kill them all! Who would dare defy me, the Baroness? Upon return, I'll have the Baron strip you of your rank." In response, Fredge retorted, "Madam, let's not discuss demotions just yet. We're not even sure if we'll make it back, as our forces are about to be wiped out. The battlefield was becoming more chaotic by the moment. Under attack by those beastmen, enemies of all humankind, suddenly, from above, a beastman riding a flying monster descended, aiming for Frege's life. Unexpectedly, a foot swiftly kicked him out of harm's way. With Elizabeth's agile reflexes, she not only helped Frege dodge the attack, but also snagged a kill from the incoming foe. Right after that, she turned around and dealt another blow to the beastman to finish him off. The beastman took the hit, immediately spitting blood from the serious injury, but that wasn't enough to take him down, and he, along with his beast, retreated a few steps. Elizabeth gritted her teeth. My elemental arrow couldn't kill him. No wonder he's a beastman of the Chinyi tribe, Captain. Prepare to break through the siege, he's tough to handle. Suddenly, from behind, a voice rang out. Hey, cowgirl! It's from Sun Lang. Come over here, I found a wild beast. A huge wild wolf. Sun Lang's face was clearly filled with excitement. Sun Lang's actions and appearance took both Frege and Elizabeth by surprise. Sun Lang joyfully waved at Falanga. Finally, I can report back. Falanga, on the other hand, looked worried. Be careful, that's a beastman of the Chi tribe. What's happening here? Have they already broken through this far? Kill. The beastman couldn't wait any longer. Ordering his wolf to finish off Sun Lang, in contrast, remained incredibly carefree. Not understanding what was happening, it turned around, eyes flashing sharply. Seems like I've been underestimated, huh? What kind of dog or cat dares to rush towards me? In front of them at that moment, the wolf stood before a completely different Sun Lang, imposing and powerful. I am Sun Lang, the mountain-guarding warrior under the great immortal, bestowed with the title, Little Whirlwind, slaying demons and monsters for the great immortal, it said as it crushed the beastman's wolf. Seeing this, the beastman tried to attack Sun Lang from behind, but it remained extremely calm. Finally out of patience, are we? Then I'll also get a bit more serious. Sun Lang summoned a large saber from the ground. Grabbing the saber, it swung it powerfully. With just one slash, Sun Lang instantly split the beastmen of the Chi tribe in two. Just one saber stroke and it's done. The remaining beastmen witnessing this were trembling in fear, slashing and killing. Even warriors riding wolves too. Falanga, Frege, and Elizabeth were no exceptions. Sun Lang spoke with a commanding voice, turning to interrogate. And as for the rest of you, you guys should step up too, it gestured provocatively, as if it had no rivals. According to legend, in the cultivation world, any sect worth its salt would find a mountain keeper strongman to guard their gates. Cultivators usually seek the spirits of renowned warriors to become mountain keepers, who are also known as mountain or gate guardians. Back in that age, the strongest mountain guardian was none other than Zun Lang, the most supreme warrior of the age. Through the screen, Zun Lang's image grabbed viewers' attention. Holy smokes, can this skeleton really transform? Oh wow. Meanwhile, the sound of an axe could be heard continually in the forest. It turns out our very own Lian Zuo was tirelessly chopping wood, grumbling about how the trees here seemed a bit too tough. Even his axe blade got chipped. Suddenly, he noticed the strange commotion in the comments. What's going on here? Why the fuss? Could it be people enjoying watching me chop trees? Gosh, the whims of netizens are really something else. Feels like I'm stuck with manual labor for life. Back at the Falanga crew, Elizabeth was flustered. Thank you, Summoner, for saving our lives. Your summoned creature is truly strong. Falanga shook her head hurriedly, saying, I'm just a magician. This is my master's summoned creature. I didn't expect it to be so powerful. Elizabeth was startled. What? A mysterious figure nearby, with such a strong summoned creature, and a female magician as a servant. The rest of the beastfolk lost all will to fight, standing frozen in place. Moments later, they all legged it in different directions, screaming, Run! It's a monster! Unexpectedly, another character made an entrance at that moment. With just one swift and unexpected slash, the head of the beastfolk hit the ground. Look who I found here. I've sniffed out the remnants of the great duke from Xijing, that's the high-ranking Colonel Tietchi tribe member, slaughter ambitious warrior Zygu. His aura was chillingly bloodthirsty. Falanga was startled. Demon sword Zygu? Oh no, why him? This isn't good. Lil Cyclone, we need to retreat now. That's the chieftain's younger brother from the Tietchi tribe. His most famous feat was defeating the Qingfeng Knights under the Xijing Duke and slaughtering their captain Kent, sacrificing tens of thousands of people to the god of slaughter. The god of slaughter was pleased, granting him the demon sword Alex. Since then, he became the most terrifying demon on the Xijing plains, the living nightmare of Xijing folk. Even viewers were scared of Zygu's appearance, saying, "Oh damn, this boss seems super strong." With everyone enthused about the boss fight, more viewers donated to Li Zuo, making him think they were interested in him? What? Are they really interested in this chipped axe? Sacrificing tens of thousands on the Xijing plains granted power? Killing thousands gives you a bad reputation, becoming a low-tier professional. Slaying tens of thousands turns you into a demon stepping into mid-tier, and if you kill 100,000 you become a demon hero. Zygu laughed maniacally, aiming to murder 1,000,000 for a sacrifice to ascend as ambition-slaying sword saint. "You're saying," Elizabeth gasped, trembling, "the sword in his hand is one of the 10 great evils, the demon blade that claimed countless lives, the sword Alex." Zygu let out a sinister laugh, raising his blade. "Rest assured, I'll use your skulls as offerings." Zygu's eyes flared a fiery red. Ready to appease the god of slaughter, he yelled and charged with his demon wolf, sword blazing. Facing him, Zunlang was unfazed. Finally, I catch a whiff of the battlefield again. It stood unflinchingly against Zygu's ferocious charge. "Let's do this." Zunlang calmly lifted his sword. Beneath it, a majestic dragon slowly emerged. It slashed a powerful straight line directly towards the oncoming Zygu. Facing the attack, Zygu could only let out a huge scream. Ah! The attack from Tuanlang even split a nearby ancient tree in half. Even Zygu was no exception. The incredibly sharp slash went right through him. Slowly, a look of despair crossed Zygu's face as he managed a weak smile. "Interesting," he said, and then he was split in two, officially ending his life. Once again, Tuanlang left everyone with gaping mouths. Another slash, and he killed a high-ranking warrior. Tuanlang looked at Zygu's body with a disdainful smile. He only had that much strength. The remaining small fry beastmen, seeing Zygu defeated, scrambled to escape. "The leader is dead. Run." HMPH. Tuanlang exhaled sharply and then, with a poof, shrank back into his tiny form. "Hey, you guys over there!" it called to the Falanga crowd, startling them. "Right here. You didn't see anything, right?" Tuanlang asked with a mysterious smile. Before he could finish, Lin Zuo had arrived from behind. "Oh, everyone is here." Tuanlang's expression changed 180 degrees, running to hug Li Zuo's leg. Master, look! I hunted a wild beast for you." Elizabeth looked at Lin Zuo skeptically. Is this really their master? His followers are so strong, so he must be. Unaware of the previous events, Lin Zuo praised Tuanlang. "Well done, little whirlwind." Elizabeth stepped up to introduce herself to Lin Zuo. "Hello, I'm Elizabeth, the traveling elf. Thank you for saving us." "Hiya," Li Zuo replied. Their handshake was broadcast on the layer bird, and the audience seemed quite entertained by Tuanlang's previous performance. Li Zuo froze mid-spray, expression blank as he wondered, "What's happening here? People actually get famous for chopping trees. No way, I'm in a different world but still can't escape manual labor." "Master, why are you here?" Falanga ran over to ask Li Zuo. He raised his axe with a grin. "My axe got chipped while chopping trees, so I had to come find you guys for a new one." Nearby, the cursed blade Alex, belonging to Zygu, surprisingly had a spirit. It slyly extended its tongue and laughed. He, I smell the powerful flesh of a strong body. If I possess and devour it, I can become even stronger." It quickly zipped towards Lin Zuo, intent on possessing him, devouring him, and taking him over. Seeing this, Falanga and Elizabeth shouted in warning. "Master, be careful. That demon blade will possess you and turn you into a sword slave." Only then did Lin Zuo notice the situation. Yet, he effortlessly caught the demonic blade in his hand. Why did this sword just fly into my hand? Failed to possess, Alex was bewildered. It finally looked up at Lin Zuo and began trembling. "Damn it. Am I being suppressed by a higher level?" Lin Zuo casually swung the cursed sword around like a toy. "This will be much better for chopping wood than my chipped axe." At the mountain peak, Lin Zuo stood nonchalantly gazing into the distance. Finally, everything was over. He looked at the money and items he had obtained over time, realizing just one wood-chopping trip had yielded so much. After deducting the platform's 90 cut, he earned 912 yuan, barely enough for 5 tries. Li Zuo scratched his head, puzzled. Although it was his first time earning so many rewards, the greedy platform took too much. This amount was far from the 5,000 yuan needed for his sister's tuition, let alone the fortune required to draw rewards for gaining strength. Suddenly, the system chimed in, reminding him of a task. For every admiral he gained, he earned 100 fans. The comment section below was lively, praising the splendid sunset scene, giving him props like a moonlight effect. Wait a minute. Lian Zuo suddenly recalled Falanga and Elizabeth. Could he actively seek someone to trigger a task and receive rewards? The system announced that the moonlight effect from Ani Chan, the dummy, had taken effect. At the same time, Elizabeth approached. My lord, so you are here. She informed him that dinner was ready, and everyone was invited to join. Suddenly, Lian Zuo showed a kind expression, an unusual aura radiating from his back, asking Elizabeth if she needed help with anything. His eyes sparkled with an indescribable expression. Elizabeth was taken aback, wondering if the twilight was responding to his words. Was there something off about him? She decided to use her talent magic to take a look. Immediately, Elizabeth activated her innate talent, the Spirit Eye Moon. What she saw was a chaotic, indescribable aura surrounding Li Zuo. She became anxious. Does someone so formidable exist beside us? Despite Li Zuo approaching her to invite her to dinner, Elizabeth trembled and remained silent, confused by his murmurs echoing in her head. Thousands of wishes were whispering into Elizabeth's ears, overwhelming her. Am I about to die? When she returned, Falanga asked if she was all right. No, I'm fine, Elizabeth replied, turning away to conceal her emotions. Falanga immediately understood what happened, thinking it was terrifying, but relieved. She hadn't used her sorcerer's eye to look at him. That night, at the camp, Freg and Sun Lang were grilling meat, calling out to Li Zuo, My lord, the camp is over here. Oh yay, dinner's finally ready, Li Zuo exclaimed, with Frege eagerly welcoming him. Yes, thanks to your subordinate's decisive actions, my lord. Duchess Jennifer faked a smile, plotting internally. In honor of the noble sorcerer lord, I'll tolerate this country bumpkin just this once. She then feigned an invitation. My lord, you've worked hard. Please enjoy the meal. Ha ha, Ling Zuo laughed heartily. If that's the case, let's dig in. Falanga, bring the tea, Li Zuo called. Falanga carefully carried the enchanted teapot that had been prepared beforehand. Even she was surprised, questioning if this enchanted item could really pour tea. Each cup exuded a peculiar fragrance as it was poured. Jennifer picked up a cup, forced a wry face at Frege. Do I really have to drink this countryside tea? Frege reassured her. Please drink, milady. It's offered by our lifesaver. Elizabeth, timid and shivering in the corner, wondered if this terrifying expert truly invited her to drink tea. Sun Lang, noticing their skepticism, reassured, Go ahead, drink it. It's beneficial for you all. The aroma of the enchanted tea wafted through the air, making everyone feel at ease. This fragrance, the steaming cup in front, suddenly became irresistibly enticing. Elizabeth picked up the teacup, feeling the rich breath of life. What was going on? She sipped it, wondering if she really had to drink it. This was tea made by that twisted powerhouse. Just the first sip sent a powerful sensation through Elizabeth. This was the breath of the world tree, she marveled. The pleasure overwhelmed Elizabeth, as if she was returning to Mother Tree's embrace. A stream of natural energy flowed into her, and suddenly her cultivation level broke through, Elizabeth cried out, breaking directly to the mid-second stage. Who would have thought that this tea contains the breath of the world tree? Tom Lang overheard Elizabeth's awe and, quite unexpectedly, blew up. Idiot! What breath of the world tree? This is immortal tea. Hurry up and thank the immortal elder for your fortune. This spirit tea is something only a second-rank sect can produce. The tea does indeed have spirit aura, although slightly damaged, still effective. The purple gold jade teapot contains a small pocket dimension where the heaven and earth spirit energy transforms into spirit tea, which prolongs life, a valuable item for small and medium sects to refine disciples' foundations. This teapot produces 3 cups of tea each month. While drinking too much might cause resistance resistance it extends lifespan. Even Li Zuo was dumbfounded hearing Tan Lang's explanation. This tea has such effects. Falanga was also surprised. After drinking it, my magic power increased by 3 parts. Elizabeth hurriedly bowed to Li Zuo, apologizing. Thank you, immortal elder, for the tea. Li Zuo, blushing at the sight of the hot girl's body, stammered. Oh, it's nothing, just a cup of tea. Even someone as picky as Lady Jennifer couldn't help but exclaim. After drinking this tea, I feel younger. Frege was shocked. Madam, you've changed so much, are you okay? Jennifer, changing her tone on a dime, snapped at Frege. Shut up, Frege, don't be disrespectful to the immortal madam, you're such a swift turncoat. Lina Zuo now took out the demon sword Alex to cut the roasted wolf meat. Using Alex to slice it, the teapot had the world tree's breath. There must be a connection. Elizabeth couldn't help but admire Lin Zuo. He might be able to help fulfill her family's 2,000-year-old wish. Thinking quickly, Elizabeth earnestly said to Lin Zuo, Sir, please help me find the world tree's seed. I am willing to give anything. The next day arrived. Frege's horse caravan started moving out of the forest. Sitting in the carriage, Lin Zuo assured, Rest assured, I will help everyone fulfill their wishes. Turning to Lady Jennifer, he said, We've left the forest, and I'll escort you back to the Baron's town safely. Having said that, Lin Zuo turned to Elizabeth. What about you? Is there anything you need my help with? Elizabeth, waiting for this, began her tale. Sir, I am from the Morrowind elf clan in the Golden Moon Forest. 2,000 years ago, the world tree inexplicably weakened, and the elven world began to split and decline. Recently, the elf high priest predicted the world tree's impending death. Foreseeing an age of elven extinction, elves were tasked with finding the world tree's scattered seeds worldwide to revive it. I intended to ask the Baron for help finding the world tree's seeds after saving the madam. However, sir, your teapot contains the breath of life, surely linked to the world tree, potentially leading us to its seeds. As she finished, the system activated. New quest, find world tree seed. Reward, 100 captains, 200,000 fans. Li Zuo quickly agreed. All right, I'll help you, pondering the task's rich rewards. After some time, Frege called. Everyone, we've reached the Baron's town. The Baron seems to be at the town gate. Hearing that, everyone stepped out. However, something was amiss. A young girl with golden hair, tied and crying out, was pleading before them. Help! Helen is not a witch, boo-hoo. It turns out she and others were tied by soldiers, ready for execution. Discovery of a witch in the Redleaf territory. Execution at the Baron's command, soldiers declared, ignoring Helen's cries, I'm not a witch. Seated with grand armor and imposing aura, Baron Mordred declared, Carry out the execution. The soldiers issued the order. Obey the Baron Mordred. The witch who caused the lady's disappearance has been found. The commoner Helen was investigated and found to be the witch, her entire family sentenced to death. They kept suppressing her, not giving Helen a chance to speak. No, Helen was terrified, pleading incessantly. I'm not a witch. Help me. Uncle, Aunt, please save me. The little girl's family below heard her cries but ignored them, no matter how much she wept. Up above, Mordred urged. Scholar Pencall, haven't you carried out the execution yet? Penlay fearfully bowed his head, trembling. Baron, it will be done immediately. Execute! Baron Mordred, in his fury, shattered the cup in his hand. Instantly, Helen was helplessly hoisted onto the scaffold. Suddenly, out of nowhere, an arrow shot through and severed the rope holding Helen. She quickly fell but was luckily caught by Lin Zuo. So it was them who intervened. Helen was grateful. Thank you so much. Seeing this scene, Mordred expressed surprise. Oh! Li Zuo caught her in his embrace. The soldiers quickly surrounded Lin Zuo and his group. The damsel in distress scene captured the attention of netizens, some commenting it's their first time seeing such a dramatic medieval witch hunt in the real world. CEO Bai Qi was also watching the situation unfold, ignoring all her work. Just a moment later, she said, This game is really interesting. Let me add some fuel to the fire. Bai Qine sent a comment. Hey Dailizi, kill that lord and I'll send you a rocket. Elsewhere, Oni-chan the dummy was also intrigued by this. She attentively watched the screen. This game looks so realistic. Suddenly, her roommate returned, startling her. I'm back, why didn't you turn on the lights? So even a genius like you streams Lei Chisholm playing games, huh? Oni-chan the dummy looked at the screen, thinking, no way, he's special. Back with Lianzuo, Lady Jennifer boldly pointed and scolded her husband. Mordred, what are you doing? I was blocked by beast people on the road. What does that have to do with the witch? These people are my saviors. We must thank them properly. Surprisingly, Duke Mordred agreed to spare them all. Oh, so you've come back to roost, have you? Then spare the child. If that's the case, I'll throw a banquet tonight at the castle to honor these saviors. Please grace us with your presence. However, Lin Zuo had a strange expression. He received a side quest to kill Baron Mordred, and the reward was even a rocket. Inside, Li Zuo was in a terrible inner conflict. A rocket? It's my first rocket ever. Killing him would earn me a rocket from a rich lady. Oh, rich lady, please send me 50 more. Falanga was a bit uneasy. Strange, the aura of that lord is really unpleasant. Li Zuo just laughed it off. Let's blend in first and then figure it out, ha ha ha. They all went to Redleaf Castle together. Li Zuo instructed Helen. All right, Helen, go home now, we have to go meet the Baron. Helen smiled brightly. Thank you for saving me, you're so handsome, ha ha. Li Zuo ruffled her hair. You've got a way with words. Suddenly, something caught Lin Zuo's attention. A hooded woman appeared. Helen saw her and joyfully ran over. The nun Teresa, Falanga, looked at the woman, realizing the symbol was of the Church of Light. Without much time to think, Penclay appeared and called out, Welcome, please follow me. They were led into a luxurious room. Lin Zuo couldn't help but marvel. This room is fancy, Penclay explained. In the afternoon, everyone just relax in the castle. Tonight, the Baron will host a banquet to welcome you. Li Zuo turned to give instructions. Falanga, you should rest first. We'll meet tonight. Yes, Falanga replied as she followed Penclay. Sir, please rest well. Taking advantage of the nice room, Lin Zuo boasted to the viewers. Look here, folks. This is what a real castle room looks like. Just check out this candle holder. Suddenly, a message came through. Lin Zuo wondered, Someone sent me a private message. Turned out it was a viewer using the nickname Oni-chan is a dummy. Asking if he had really transmigrated, Lin Zuo was thrilled to finally find someone who believed him. He replied, It's true, I transmigrated to a magic world, almost got killed at first, but you helped me by becoming the ship captain and spinning the wheel to extend my life. Oh yes, to repay you, I'll promote you to be the live room manager. Instantly, Oni-chan is a dummy became the live room manager. She clenched her teeth in disbelief that this dimwit actually transmigrated. She messaged back, asking if Lin Zuo worried about his family, but he explained it was beyond his control. Anyway, my mom is still waiting for me, and my little sister too. Oni-chan is a dummy pondered. So how can you return to Earth then? Li Zuo explained. The more fans I have, the higher the livestream room level goes. The higher the level, the better cards I can draw, allowing me access to more advanced techniques. I need fans to cap the ship and send more gifts, earn money, level up the livestream room, spin the wheel until I've maxed out all the red cards and reached Wuhua, become immortal, and then break the void to go home. Alright. Oni-chan is a dummy offered. I'll help manage the livestream room and plan for you. The system even allowed Li Zuo to send her an item, enabling deliveries to the real world. He took out a resurrection bean from his pocket, grinning, I can send the resurrection bean to protect my sister. Right now, she's being hounded by loan sharks. 1 bean a day can summon my avatar for protection. With that thought, he asked Oni-chan is a dummy for a favor. Just with a push of a button, in no time, Oni-chan is a dummy's roommate brought over, Lin Jing, a package for you. So this girl's real name was Lin Jing. Curiously, Lin Jing questioned, lately, I haven't ordered anything. Whose package is this? Her roommate replied they didn't know. Haven't you been playing games lately? Seems like it's from one with a weird name. Seeing Li Zuo's name on the package, Li Jing screamed, What? Lin Zuo simultaneously felt elated. Success! Next, I need to figure out how to complete the mission to kill the Baron and get this rocket. Fired up with the spirit of the party, Li Zuo thought. As a successor of socialism, how can I turn a blind eye to people suffering from the exploitation of feudal landlords? Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. Sir? As the door opened, 2 maids with fiery figures entered. We've been sent by the Baron to assist you with your bath. Lin Zuo seemed to have his soul snatched, his face turning beet red. Oh no, is this feudal landlord trying to tempt me? Little did he know. Behind the maid, a clawed hand was poised to take his life. Hee hee, sweet prey. Lin Zhu had no idea about the plot of those two maidservants. Awkwardly confused, asking, "Who are you people?" The two maidservants sweet-talked him. "McLord, we're maidservants sent by the Lord to serve you," leaving the livestream audience restless. "Oh man, here comes the Lord's right to the first night's enjoyment." The sneaky maidservants rushed to hug Lim Zuo. "Let us help you bathe, milord," Lim Zuo protested nervously. "I can do it myself." Before he could finish, the maidservants put on a longing look. "Don't be shy, milord. Just leave it to us sisters." "Relax, milord." Li Zuo was quickly brought into the bathtub, feeling pleasant. "Let us clean you thoroughly." The livestream viewers were jealous of him. "When will public testing come? I want a maidservant bath too. Is this free content?" "Haha," Miss Lord's blushing. They flirted with each other, unaware of the demon sword Alex witnessing it all nearby. "Nonsense," it sneered, showing scorn and disrespect. When Lin Zuo was thoroughly enjoying himself, the two maidservants revealed their true forms. "Haha, he's let his guard down." Not hard at all. Turns out those maidservants were actually the half-blood demon twins Kalea and Peggy. They grinned menacingly, claws ready to strike and kill Ling Zuo. Die. Unable to stand by any longer, the demon sword Alex bound Kalea and Peggy with its power. "You won't touch him with those filthy hands." Its eyes went fierce. "He's my nourishment, his body is mine alone to touch." "Demon sword Alex!" the demon twins exclaimed, making Lin Zuo feel startled. "Huh, what are you two talking about?" Alex glared. Though he didn't understand why he couldn't possess him, he dared use my noble blade to slice grilled meat. Unforgivable. If so, I'll drain your infernal power and then siphon him dry. With that, it immediately used its tendrils to draw energy from Kalea and Peggy. Peggy trembled on the ground. That was terrifying. "All energy is drained. Let's retreat." By then, Lin Zuo had finished bathing and dressed, unaware of what happened. How strange. Why did those maidservants flee suddenly? Behind him, Alex felt triumphant. Having absorbed the demonic power of the half-blood demons, his strength surged. This time the possession will surely succeed. Lin Zuo grabbed the demon sword and walked out for a stroll. Seizing the chance that Alex awaited, "It's time, I'll drain you now." But oddly, the one in pain was demon sword Alex. It winced silently in agony. "What's happening? My magic is being siphoned away. Damn, lost again, cursed. Didn't expect to be troubled." So by being this demonic sword Alex, this feeling is just too exhilarating. Demon sword Alex couldn't understand why there was such a peculiar satisfaction, truly a strong one, like an endless black hole. Even my demon soul might get pulled in. Lin Zuo was puzzled by Alex's reactions. "What's wrong with this sword?" Alex kept groaning. "Master, drain me a little more." Lin Zuo suddenly freaked out and screamed, "Ah, the sword talks." After calming down, Li Zhu headed to Feng Yeling to learn that the sword could actually bond with a master and even talk. He walked while pondering over this matter. Suddenly, something surprised him. What is this? Before him was a scene of people farming, so many fields, and even a chapel. Suddenly, there was a voice calling out, "Hey, brother!" It turns out it was Helen, who was with Teresa, running over to greet Lin Zuo. Teresa finally spoke up. "Li Zuo, thank you for saving Helen's life." Beneath her cloak was a nun in a dazzling white outfit. She introduced herself. "I'm a nun of this cathedral, Teresa. Can we have a chat?" Teresa's appearance caught the attention of many online viewers. "Wow, what a beautiful nun. Her outfit suits my taste." Teresa looked down at the farmers below, asking Lin Zuo, "How can we ensure these farmers don't have to worry about food and clothing, living happy days? I've built this cathedral, reclaimed wasteland, and taken in the wandering people to become self-sufficient farmers here. Every year, I even invite priests from the nearby Mother God Church to perform growth-enhancing rituals on the fields, hoping for a better harvest. Yet every winter, many still die of starvation, and their lives remain miserable. The land seems cursed or something, yielding less and less each year. I've consulted many people, but none could help. The priests even said it was a test from the gods. I'm superstitious, and no matter how hard I try, I can't escape this vicious cycle." Teresa asked Li Zuo if he had any solutions. He scratched his head in confusion, not knowing what to say, thinking to himself that she's a kind nun with such a big heart. Feeling touched, Lin Zuo's livestream screen seemed a bit off, with viewers playfully commenting, Yeah, she truly has a big heart. With no choice, Lianzuo asked his viewers for help. Guys, any ideas? I really don't know anything about this stuff. But his viewers were equally clueless. Damn, I don't know anything about farming either. Among them, a history expert viewer suggested to Lianzuo, this isn't the Huaxia region, the environment isn't the same, but you can look at some medieval European methods, avoid talking too much about the system right away to prevent conflicts. This is a magical feudal world after all. You can tell her this. The barren land might be due to excessive annual cultivation. You could try the European farmer's method, the three-field system. Alright, Lianzuo was delighted, deciding to follow the netizen's suggestion. Stand back, I'm about to put on a show. He then cleared his throat, trying to appear professional while responding to Teresa. Miss Nunn, I have some recommendations that might help you solve this issue. Oh. Please go on, Teresa was surprised. Lianzuo, acting all professional, explained. The declining yield is not due to any curse, but because of overfarming, making the soil barren and losing nutrients, creating a vicious cycle where crops decrease every year. For such situations we can use the three-field system. This system divides land into 3 parts, rotating crops over 3 years. This farming method can maintain soil nutrients and increase yield. The empty land won't remain unused either. You can use it for raising livestock such as cattle, sheep, and pigs to increase income through meat production. I notice people don't use much manure. You can collect cattle and horse dung, turn it into fertilizer for the 2nd year. Teresa was astonished. Can it really work like that? Lianzuo continued. I saw farmers still using small, light farming tools, and the damp climate with moist soil must make these tools insufficient. If you upgrade these to heavier ones, it might improve farming efficiency. And also, before he could finish, Teresa suddenly grabbed Lianzuo's hand, startling him. His eyes widened in surprise. She lifted her headpiece, revealing an exceptionally unique pair of bright eyes. Since I was 19, I vowed to seek a way to save the people in the dark shadows, wandering blindly for almost 100 years. Today, finally, I see the light. Teresa was the rumored, silver-eyed saintess, the one most likely to become a demigod within the Holy Light Church. Meanwhile, in the real world, Lin Jing was on her way back home, greeting a few neighbors along the way. She sighed internally about her silly brother. I can't believe he sent me such a strange thing. A bean for eating, she wondered while examining the bean in her hand. Suddenly, thugs from the Black Tiger Gang showed up, blocking Lin Jing's path. Hey, back already? When will your dad pay off the gambling debts he owes us? Oh no, Lin Jing worried. Recognizing them as the debt-collecting thugs, she frowned and tried to explain, isn't the deadline still far off? My brother is working hard to pay it off. However, the thugs wore a disturbingly sinister expression. Oh, we know. We're just here for a bit of interest, that's all. The gangsters put on a bloodthirsty look. If you don't have money, why not come join us at the main hall? What do you say, huh? He said as he approached Lian Jing with a knife in hand. Li Jing was terrified, yelling, Don't come any closer, and accidentally threw out a bean pill in panic. Ha ha ha, the Black Tiger Gang member gloated. You can scream your lungs out, but no one's coming to save you, little miss. The bean pill fell out of Lin Jing's hand and hit the ground. Suddenly, a loud explosion echoed, startling the Black Tiger Gang. What's happening? They all turned around to see. What just exploded? Even Lin Jing was surprised. Did that magic bean he gave me actually work? What on earth is this? As the smoke cleared, a skeleton draped in a tattered cloak gradually appeared before everyone. It let out a fearsome howl. It turned out to be Tan Lang, just slightly different in appearance in this world. Even it was baffled, wondering, strange, there's no spiritual energy here. Has my cultivation level dropped so drastically? But even so, it had scared the Black Tiger Gang. Stay back. Ah! Tan Lang eyed the crowd curiously. Wait a minute, there's a scent of someone sharing Li Xianji's bloodline here. It suddenly reached out and grabbed a gangster's face. Immediately, a terrifying aura emanated from Tan Lang. What do you vermin want to do to the Xianzi's kin? The gangsters turned pale with fear. A ghost. Call the cops, they wanted to run away. Call who? We're the crooks here. And Lin Jing, who vaguely realized something upon seeing Tan Lang, without letting them speak further, Tan Lang started to smack one gangster against the wall. Then, with incredible speed, it lunged at another. The last 2 gangsters quickly kissed the ground under Tan Lang's hand. With the danger gone, it approached Liang Jing. Greeting, Ms. Tan Lang at your service. Just call me if you need anything. 1 summon, 10 minutes each. Lin Jing looked at the bean pills in amazement. I can't believe this. These beans have such power. It seems my brother really did travel to another world. Back with Lin Zuo, he learned that the Silver Eye clan ruled within the Light Church, famous for producing a high priest. And 100 years ago, a genius was born into the Silver Eye clan. At that time, Teresa and her fellow acolytes were praying together. Silver Eye Teresa, known for her benevolent and generous nature, attained the hero rank at 19. She was appointed as the Holy Mother of Silver Eye by the current pope, highly revered by the Light Church, seen as the next in line for cardinal education. But after 19, everything changed. When Teresa donned her eye patch, her cultivation stagnated for a century. Some said she'd exhausted her potential, while others speculated she'd turned to the dark path. Eventually, Teresa left the Light City, greatly disappointing the church, who ultimately abandoned her memory as years passed. Teresa looked at Lin Zuo. With a joyful face, "Lord Lin Zuo, I see a heart full of light within you." Li Zuo, seeing her beauty, blushed. She's so beautiful. Her aura was like an abyss, yet radiating a sacred breath, making people feel inadequate with just a glance. Even the audience around Li Zuo agreed. So beautiful, that divine temperament, this pure body, a nun please for. Suddenly, the system popped up a new mission. It's optional, but it's all about convincing the silver-eyed saint to join your team. The reward, a captain rank and 200 fans. Lin Zuo couldn't help but put on a sour face, thinking, "Are you nuts? A master like that would never join my team." Just then, Lian Jing returned home, seeing the whole thing unfold. It was clear this mission was impossible. With Lian Zuo's current strength, there was no way. Bai Ji chimed in with a similar opinion. Just one look and you know this character screams boss level. No way a newbie player could recruit someone like that. Meanwhile, another character, an unusual guy, was watching. "You never know," he said. "Actually, we might." "Psychological warfare," he suggested. "Let's see who we're dealing with." The expert historian. Teresa placed Li Zuo's hand on her chest, sweetly saying, "My lord, please stay and help save my people." Facing this situation, Lin Zuo was momentarily flustered, his mind freezing up, even considering helping this kind-hearted nun, but he refused. "It's useless." "My lady," he said gravely, "even if I stay, I can't save your people. Because of the system, no matter how much you reap, you can't change the current state." Teresa was baffled. So Li Zuo explained, "I just asked about the situation here. Self-farming peasants owe 15 kinds of taxes. Tenant farmers pay 17, plus 10 to the Church of Light. There's nothing left over all year. Slaves are even worse off. Even in good times, they starve. When war, disease, or disaster strikes, many die. Even uprisings are quickly crushed by nearby feudal lords. The root of this is the kingdom's current system, a feudal partitioning system. You represent theocracy, and no matter how hard you try, you can't eliminate your class." "What?" Teresa was growing increasingly confused. Li Zuo continued, "I know this world is dangerous, needs strong lords and the Church of Light to protect the common folk, and that productivity dictates production relations, but..." At this point he suddenly burst forth with intense passion. "In my homeland, even in this era, we only had 11 types of taxes. You've got a population of billions, so why not use magic to bless the people? Why impose such exorbitant taxes? Don't you see? You people are the ones draining the populace dry, like vampires sucking their blood. Let's not even discuss advanced socialist concepts yet, please. Transition to capitalism instead. Why on earth stick with the lowly slave and feudal systems? You and the feudal lords are the biggest mountains crushing the people," Teresa asked in disbelief. "What? Are we vampires?" Her long-stuck barrier at the legendary level suddenly loosened. She prayed silently. "Oh God, forgive me. My faith has been shaken. Yet, my strength hasn't diminished, it's increased." Is this the legendary fall from grace? In her mind, phrases like feudal system and exploitative production relations cycled non-stop. His words pointed directly to the heart of the issue. This dazzling light, it's the light of a saint, too blinding. Compared to his, "My saint" title is nothing. Could this be the deity's will? Teresa hurried off. "Excuse me, I must leave. I need to think this over carefully." Li Zuo scratched his head, bewildered. Why did she run off? Did I fail in convincing her? Fortunately, 16 expert historians watching the livestream explained, "No, you shocked her. She needs time to process. She'll definitely come back to you." Just then, someone urgently called out to him, "My lord, it turned out to be Falanga. I found a mercenary guild in town. We could register a small team of mercenaries to accompany us on our journey. Might even start a mercenary band as we leave." He furrowed his brow slightly. "Is that so?" Meanwhile, at Windleaf Fort, someone shouted, "Make way! Jennifer urgently needs to see the Baron. I want to see that Baron." The guard looked troubled. "Madam, you're breaching decorum," she said suspiciously. "Really, I haven't seen Raymond for just a month, and he's acting so strangely. Raymond, why?" Jennifer shouted in bewilderment. "What's happening here?" Afternoon, at Fengie Peak, Li Zuo leads the way, saying, "Let's go, we're heading back to the fortress." Following him is Falanga. He suddenly stops when he notices a red symbol on the wall. What's this symbol on the pillar? He leans in closer for a better look, and then mutters, "Weird, what could this symbol be?" Falanga responds, "Not sure, it might be the mark of some secret organization." Hearing this, he lets out an "ah." Observing the people around, Lin Zuo notices something unusual. The villagers all have pale faces, reddened eyes, and dark circles. There's something strange in the air here, and the villagers' expressions are a bit odd too. At Hongye Fort, he walks into the main hall, telling Falanga behind him, "Come on, let's join the Baron's banquet." Elizabeth, a bit expectantly, says, "This is my first time attending a lord's dinner party. I definitely have to try all the delicious food in this world." Li Zuo, hearing her enthusiasm, is surprised. First time attending a human banquet. This lady, or rather this master, is really excited. Scholar Penlay has already been waiting for them and starts guiding them as they arrive. "It's been a long wait for you. The banquet has already started, and the Baron is waiting inside," Li Zuo replies. "All right, but when the three of them enter the hall, it's completely empty." Elizabeth blurts out, Lian Zuo questions suspiciously. The Red Room. Inside, Simon has been waiting for them, and excitedly exclaims, "Ah, our honored guests have arrived. It's been a long wait for you all. Welcome to my bloody banquet." Falanga, alert, says, "Master, something feels off. This room is filled with evil aura." Elizabeth also frowns in distaste. "I can smell the sulfur of hell," Falanga replies. "Not just that Baron, even those sitting and eating emit an evil presence. Those at the table have very dark auras. The screen is filled with scrolling comments from viewers. Saki 19 Zhao Haizi, "What on earth is this? Feels terrifying. Excited for episode 16. Batter Fan Bao, is the streamer playing a horror game? No Tolling One Soy Wart, is the boss fight about to start?" Lin Zuo, on guard, reminds Falanga to be ready for any fight, to which she replies, "Yes." He feigns a casual demeanor, saying, "Haha, thank you for the invitation, Baron. Let's begin, shall we?" While internally plotting to first try diplomatically discussing with him, suddenly he freezes, unable to believe his eyes, a bead of sweat trickling down. This is... Simon is seated in the position of the host, and on the table, the main dish is a corpse. He proudly declares, "Welcome to Stuka's bloody feast, my guests." Enraged by their bizarre actions, Lian Zuo shouts, "What is this person doing?" Falanga, equally shocked, exclaims, "People with no minds. How could this be possible?" Public comment 16 Gingerbread Man, "Whoa, what is this? Freaky as hell." Loud comment 17 Piggirl replies, "Wow, cannibalism, so disgusting." Public comment 16 Oni-chan's dumbass replies, "Seems like some sort of evil ritual, huh?" "The magical world sure is fascinating," Piggirl adds. "Strong muscles, kill him, go for it." This is a terrifying evil ritual, turning cannibals into mindless beings. These beings always feel hunger and keep consuming, ultimately devouring themselves, becoming sacrifices to finally open the chaotic space and summon the flesh-eater king, the evil god Stuka. Simon then speaks, "Indeed, I offer these sacrifices here to the great flesh-eating deity, and as for the three of you, one of you has wizard blood, another is a gold elf, and one has a very interesting soul, making you the finest sacrifices for his eminence. Guards, Apprehend them. The heavy footsteps of the cavalry echo, "As you command, master." All the cavalry, clad in armor and bearing swords, obediently echoes, "As you command, master." They are the Rotten Knights, second stage, first level. Simon coldly commands, "Devour them all." The barrage of comments continues. "Holy crap, this 3D model looks so real. Terrifying indeed, someone hold me." Onward. The cavalry charge at the command. Falanga begins to cast her spell. An icy light enveloped the area as she shouted, "First grade magic. Ice resistance ring." The cavalrymen were frozen solid in place. The intense battle had everyone on the edge of their seats. Wow, this female mage is something else. Well, of course, ordinary mages can take down enemies above their level, attacking multiple targets at once or going solo. It's quite a profession. Meanwhile, Lizuo noticed Jennifer sitting with her eyes closed, looking downcast. Worried, he asked, "Milady, what's wrong?" Someone commented. "Looks like she's under some control, huh?" Another chimed in, "Lindsay, forget about her for now. We gotta focus. The boss is here. The first phase needs serious fighting. We can't afford to wipe." Just then, sensing danger, his sword chimed in, "Master, be careful. It's the dark god's aura. He's no match for you, though." "Use me, come on," he frowned and muttered. "The sword's talking again." Falanga, while fending off the cavalry, glanced at her teammate, Elizabeth. "I still have 4 spells left. Gotta think of something," Elizabeth responded. "That's more than enough." Elizabeth launched herself into the air, firing a continuous stream of arrows at the opponent. This was the Silver Elven arrow technique, rapid fire. Watching the scene unfold, Lianzuo grimaced. "Darn it, I'm so envious of ranged attackers. If only I knew the art of sword manipulation." His eager sword cut in. "Master, I know that. Channel your energy into me and see what I can do." Skeptical, he picked up the sword and queried, "Seriously, a sword from another world knows sword manipulation?" "Alright, let's see. Flaming energy transfer." The sword's power left him awestruck. "What kind of force is this? This is insane. Kimoji, I'll show them the power of sword cultivation." Demon sword. The sword, seemingly alive, weaved through the cavalry, slaying foes wherever it went. The cavalrymen fell, one by one. Elizabeth was stunned by its might and exclaimed, "So strong, way too strong." Simon watched with intrigue. "Oh, interesting." Lianzuo's face remained stoic, despite Simon's comment. He was pouring all his strength into the sword. The viewers went wild. 666, that's cool. This sword move reminds me of my lone triumph over Black Soul. Dude, calm down. He swung the massive sword, unleashing an incredible force. "Alex, sword expansion mode's on." Yet Simon's words were like a bucket of cold water. Is that supposed to be sword manipulation? The sword didn't take the insult lightly and defended itself. "Master, transfer more energy to me. What else do you call this if not sword manipulation?" Simon, with disdain, reiterated, "What's this weird sword manipulation?" He grasped his sword embedded in the ground. Holding his sharp blade, he remarked, "Interesting. A famed demon sword becoming a pet for humans. Guess I'll handle you myself." Lianzuo, unfazed, reassured his team. "Don't worry, only a few enemies left. Let's fight together," the streamers urged. "Careful, boss phase 2 incoming. Hang in there, beat him, and I'll support your stream." Simon gestured towards the window. "Or maybe you should take a look outside." Outside, the villagers looked like lifeless puppets. The viewers were curious. "Whoa, are the villagers here for reinforcements? Wait, something's off about them. Has anyone seen those marks before in the village? Don't tell me." Watching them head inside, he asked doubtfully, "Are the villagers under control?" Simon boasted, "Ha! Those foolish villagers. Just raise the taxes a bit, guide them a little. Their faith automatically serves the dark god. Once they eat their own kin, they pass the test, filling their bellies and joining the man-eating cult. Why wouldn't they?" Hearing this, Lianzuo's anger flared. "Eating people, you bastard!" Simon, full of himself, claimed, "This world is one where people eat people. Release the horses." A bolt of lightning streaked across the gloomy night sky, and from the holy sanctuary came a desperate plea. "Oh God, I confess I'm guilty. My faith in you has wavered." A panicked girl rushed in. "Sister Teresa, it's bad. The villagers are storming in. Their appearance seems off somehow." The chapel doors shattered under their assault. The sound of madness filled the air. And then, boom! A noise like an earthquake hit the building's walls. The villagers raided the chapel, grabbing anything valuable. Encouraged by each other, "Take it all. This chapel's loaded, haha." Sister Teresa screamed in despair. "Stop it, you savages. You've been bewitched by the evil god. Stop, or I'll use the light to purify you." Under the nun's light, the villagers squinted and shielded their eyes. The desperate villagers pleaded, "Oh, Holy Mother, we really can't survive any longer." Blindly, Sister Teresa realized those were the voices of farmers, and gasped, "What? They're all farmers." Meanwhile, at Yefeng Fort, Simon raised his hand. In his palm floated a tiny red leaf, like a burning ember. He said, "See? Just a spark can ignite the evil thoughts in people's hearts." Hearing this, others cursed. "Damn, this boss is irritatingly smug." "Be careful, Li Zuo, it's stage 2, he continued. "And you, mere low-level practitioners, do you really think you deserve my attention?" The soldiers attacked, each one responding to his command. Swords gleaming and ready for battle. Perfect timing, everyone. Hurry and comment 666 and send gifts. At his prompting, gifts poured in. One user sent a glowing stick. Another, named Ani-chan is a fool, sent a like X10 to cheer Li Zuo. Li Zuo focused energy in his hand, creating a swirling mass of dark fire. The crowd commented, "Strategy team, where are you? How do we fight this boss?" Another advised, "Li Zuo, handle the small fries first before the boss. Don't draw the boss's aggro." A burst of dark fire lit up the gloomy space. Waves of energy crashing into the bewildered soldiers opposite. The soldiers couldn't react in time and fell like wheat cut down. Seeing his power, Lin Zuo felt proud. One move to take down 4 foes of the same level. Cultivation techniques truly are superior, at least a notch above those in other realms. He knew that guy, mastering both demonic and martial paths, wouldn't be easy to deal with. So, let's handle the weakest first. Watching his subordinate fall like dust, Simon growled, "You'll regret ever opposing me." With a powerful gesture, his voice echoed with malice. "Blood attack," Falanga worriedly thought. "Not good. He's exploiting the moment I need to recharge my spells to get closer." In that crucial moment, Lin Zuo rushed in, blocking Simon's strike, saving Falanga from danger. Casually, he greeted, "Hey, what are you trying to do to my friend?" Simon, in disbelief, thought, "A low level using a demon sword matching my strength. Indeed, he's the most troublesome one." He then praised, "You've got some skill, but how do you plan to deal with them?" Falanga struggled to hold the door as the crowd hammered relentlessly outside, looking like she wouldn't last much longer. Eventually, the crowd burst inside. In the middle of this dire situation, Li Zuo took out a seed, pulling off the bean soldier technique. Then he flung it towards the intruders, with Falanga quickly dodging to the side. The crowd of farmers burst in, loudly asking, "Who's there?" Just as they spoke, a blade whizzed towards them. One of them barely managed a bewildered, "Huh." Tan Lang authoritatively pointed a blade at them, his voice merciless. "Who dares come here?" Li Zuo commanded Tan Lang. "Block all those outside." Seeing his fierce aura, none of the farmers outside dared step forward. Following orders, Tan Lang replied, "As you command," sweeping his blade with such imposing presence that the farmers froze in fear. Blades like a whirlwind swept through the crowd. No one escaped. Anyone caught in their path met their end. In the embrace of Mother Earth today. Tan Lang lowered his sword to the ground, the sharp blade drawing a long line in the dirt. He solemnly declared, "Don't worry, immortal leader, no one can escape my attack range." He warned the remaining survivors. "Anyone who crosses this line will die." Simon, seeing Tan Lang's imposing presence, felt a spark of surprise in his eyes. "What the heck, a high-level summoned creature? Where did you get so many followers? It's a pity. If you had teamed up with him from the start, maybe you could have killed me, but you're too full of yourself." Li Zuo arrogantly replied, "HMPH, I don't need anyone's help to kill you." He began concentrating netherfire in his hands. Then he swung the netherfire in a punch straight towards Simon's stomach. The entire space was engulfed in a swirling, mystical purple flame, with Simon's screams echoing everywhere. "Anaya, what kind of fire is this? It's actually burning my soul." With the netherfire consuming Simon bit by bit like a crematorium, Li Zuo dusted his hands and said, "All right, show's over." Suddenly, a monster appeared behind him, and Lin Zuo quickly realized it was right at his back. He swiftly turned and slashed a sword behind him, creating a cloud of billowing smoke and dust. Out of that dust emerged a maniacal laugh. Ha ha! A demon with gleaming eyes and jagged teeth appeared. Behold the strength of my master, devourer of all things. It was none other than the magnificent first-grade demon Modred. Falanga warned him. Be careful, this baron has fallen into a demon, Lizuo asked in surprise. Turned into a demon. Simon laughed heartily. Ha ha! Your black flames feel like a cozy fire to me. Awaken, my followers. Demonic summoning. On his command, 2 other demons emerged and said in unison, Twins at your command, my lord. The situation was incredibly tense and everyone was abuzz with discussion, Guild member 16-2 remarked. Stage 3 already, truly amazing, not dying right away, Null Entity enthusiastically added, 6,666, the upper floor, as expected of the Strategy Guild, very clear thinking. Guild member 24, Oni-chan the Fool, cheered for the player, go great lie. Simon unleashed the gluttonous flame slash, a splendid blaze erupting from him as if to swallow Lianzuo whole. He growled, turn to ash beneath my demon flame sword. Yet Lianzuo disdainfully questioned, what? He was focused on fending off the attack just launched by Simon. The entire building shook with a boom like a massive explosion just occurred, with flames lighting up the sky and destroying the scene's tranquility. In reality, upon seeing the dire situation, Li Jing worriedly called out, Great Li! Bai Ju also frantically shouted, Boss? Boss? Those watching the stream began to comment wildly. Great lie, I'm sending rockets for you, just kill him already. Streamer, don't die, I'm becoming your top supporter. Go. Great lie, everyone like this. If you beat this boss, I'm becoming your top fan. Place your bets, how many tries to get past this boss, loser becomes the top fan. Lianzuo's entire body was engulfed in flames, his painful scream echoing. Abaya, Elizabeth and Falanga anxiously called out, My lord! Just then, the monster brandished its sword and ordered the twins to attack. They swiftly flew up and responded, Yes, yes, ha-ha, the souls of the sorceress and spirit are ours. The twins began to confront Elizabeth and Falanga directly. Modred, seeing the victory seemingly tipped in his favor, laughed loudly. Ha-ha-ha, behold! This is the power my master bestowed upon me. Invincible and unyielding. My master is the devourer of this world. Right at that moment, Lianzuo appeared behind him, with a sly smile. Modred's laugh still in mid-air. That arrogant grin faded as Modred was about to realize someone was standing behind him. Slowly turning his head, Modred saw Lianzuo's annoyingly smug face that was simply infuriating. His eyes bulged like billiard balls, and even his repulsive face couldn't hide the shock at seeing Lianzuo unharmed. Meanwhile, in reality, morning calls echoed through the house. Get up already, I brought breakfast. Atuang's friend brought breakfast but still found him glued to his computer. Atuang, it's breakfast time. The friend suddenly blurted out. Whoa, you pulled another all-nighter. What game are you into? Wait, you're watching a live stream. Atuang, annoyed by the chatter, coldly replied, Shut up. When the friend glanced at the game Atuang was playing, he exclaimed, Wow, the graphics in this game look insanely real. Is it that new one being tested? Are you strategizing for someone? Atuang grumbled, I said shut up, and stop calling me Atuang. Curiously, the friend asked, Are you live streaming a boss fight now? Barely any viewers. Below the screen, comments flooded in. Master Lai hit the mid lane. This demon seems so dumb. What an ugly demon. Atuang sighed. There's no helping it. Our agent is new and somehow stumbled into live streaming this game. A bit of contemplation crossed Atuang's face as he pondered over something. Finally, he decided, all right, I'll do a good deed for once, record a video for him, and upload it to WebP and see what happens. He hit the record button, ready to lend a hand to Lizuo. Meanwhile, in the Scarlet Leaf Fortress of the alternate world, the moon cast a red glow, amplifying the eerie and ominous atmosphere. The supernatural devil Modred let out a frightful scream. Ghost! But then he realized, wait, that's not right, I'm a devil. I'm not afraid of ghosts. Enraged, he swung his sword at Lianzuo, incredulously shouting, How is this possible? How are you not burning alive in the hellfire? Falanga shouted. My lord. His voice echoed throughout the space, as if summoning invisible power. He coldly glared at Modred, eyes sharp as blades and filled with killing intent. Hellfire, you say? Flames surged all around him, fiery embers twisting around his form like snarling little dragons, his voice low and commanding. Let me show you what true hellfire is. His eyes glinted dangerously, deep and chilling, as if the whole world could dissolve under his gaze. Suddenly, his form transformed. He became a more muscular man, his features more defined and resolute, exuding an aura of fire burning in a winter night. Modred, fearful, stammered, Who are you? He sensed a powerful pressure weighing down on him. Even Elizabeth trembled, stuttering, What is that? The pressure is terrifying. Falanga, in awe, solemnly stated, The Master's true form has appeared. This overwhelming magical force spread across the space. Waves of power sweeping over everything, demanding submission. Could this be the presence of a dark god? Lin Zuo stood there, imposing and brilliant like a descending deity, enveloping the entire space with indescribable power. Modred, stunned, asked, Who are you? I serve Lord Stuka. Why would you aid humans? Perhaps my god knows you too. Please, spare me. Lin Zu coldly replied, You get what you give. He raised his sword high, flames igniting around him. Infernal fire sword art, each spark bursting like fiery blossoms in the dark. His sword, feeling the surge of energy, excitedly cried out, Wow! The power's flooding in. I'm about to be filled up. He swung at Modred with lightning speed, leaving him scrambling to defend with his sword. Trembling, screaming, Ah! The sword seemed alive, attacking relentlessly, each hit carrying destructive force. What kind of move is this? Modred stuttered in disbelief. The battle scene was like a mythical showdown, onlookers exclaimed in excitement. Damn, that's peak cultivation. Forget magic worlds, one swipe and it's all over. Get the mercenaries in here. Modred was knocked back. As the twin servants watching saw their master defeated, they cried out, Master! No way, this can't be happening, he stammered. He trembled as he questioned, Why? Why are you doing this? Clearly, you're on our side, he thought to himself, feeling an overwhelming pressure. Even at a time like this, he can still laugh. With that look in his eyes, ha ha ha, he burst out in laughter, his voice echoing, making Lin Zuo's face darken. He ranted wildly, We're the same, ha ha ha, my lord the evil god. Before he could say another word, Li Zuo swung his palm, with power like a mountain crashing down. He only had time to scream, No! His face was full of majesty, like a god that no one could offend. Viewers watching live excitedly commented, 666, Li Zuo is the best, what a spectacular fight. Saying and doing, I'm on board with the captain. Modred's two henchmen watched the scene with reluctance. One of them grumbled, How annoying, our lord has been expelled and we're about to be dragged back to the abyss. We can't accept this. Falnaga suddenly realized, Wait a minute, if that's the case, won't I? The screen continued to flood with viewer comments. 666, great job, Li Zuo. Turns out you're an amazing streamer too, winning all the way through. Action and responsibility. I'm on board with the captain, well done, Rocket X2. Lin Zuo looked in a direction, slightly furrowing his brow, thinking it has indeed arrived. Elizabeth looked at the two of them curiously and said, Who are they? At this moment, Li Zuo suddenly leaned down without warning, giving Falanga a kiss. People continued to chatter. 666, is this for real now? Stop it, Li Zuo. 666, go for the mage girl. Falanga slightly furrowed her brow, her eyes showing a flicker of emotion. She could clearly feel the changes in her body, streams of energy pouring in like a torrent. She whispered, It's here again, that feeling, she grimaced, saying, Upgrading again. Falanga from level 1 mid-tier has ascended to level 2 mid-tier. Elizabeth couldn't hide her astonishment at the scene before her. She exclaimed in shock, What kind of miraculous leveling up method is this? Right at that moment, Modred, not yet dead, suddenly burst into laughter from beneath the rubble, his laughter resounding across the space. Ha ha, you're too late. From the crimson apocalyptic sky, a colossal beam of energy descended, light piercing through everything. He proudly declared, He's about to descend. Lin Zu had returned to his original form, frowning as he asked, What is going on here? Didn't we defeat Baron already? All around, the villagers kept clutching their heads, writhing in agony on the ground, their screams echoing like a horrifying symphony. The eyes of the villagers gradually turned crimson, soulless as if controlled by some force. Li Zuo asked in confusion, Are they being controlled? Blood sacrifice devour, summon my god, and with that command, the villagers simultaneously committed suicide. Fresh blood sprayed out, dyeing the entire space red, the scene resembling hell itself. Li Zuo asked in shock. What is happening? Why are the people outside committing suicide? Falanga exclaimed. This isn't good. This disturbance is the blood sacrifice projection of the evil god. From high above, a gigantic eye opened, evil and insane. Its voice echoed throughout the space. Ha ha, what a delicious world this is. Viewers were amazed and disgust. What the heck is this? Stage 4 already. It's not over yet. Lian Zuo has got to fight. Falanga cried out in fear. This isn't good. He's about to descend. Li Zuo also shouted angrily. Damn it, I didn't think this would kill so many people. Annoying. I used my dragon form too early. Suddenly, a blinding light descended from above, so intense that the two had to raise their hands to shield their eyes. Modred was stunned as he gazed at the scene before him. The light was like divine judgment. He said in a daze, I didn't expect just one move to destroy the evil god's projection. Before he could react, a foot stepped on his face. In the space, a cold voice echoed. Why, Lian Zuo? Why did those villagers choose to betray me? Half an hour ago, in a deserted church, a desperate voice cried out, God, why? The nun, Teresa, stood in the middle of the blood-soaked church, gripping a long scythe tightly. Around her, the bodies of farmers lay in heaps, their blood staining the cold ground. She whispered, her voice choked with unbearable pain. I was clearly thinking of you all. Why did you have to force my hand? She lowered her head, her lips trembling slightly. Why have you all become so depraved? Raising her head, through the shattered window of the church, she saw a terrifying scene. A giant, blood-red eye covered the sky, emitting a suffocatingly evil aura. Is this the evil god's eye? Even though her eyes were still tightly shut, Teresa could clearly feel the demonic energy flooding the area. She said coldly, So, it was you who was behind this. Then don't blame me for opening my eyes. As soon as she finished, her eyes erupted with brilliant golden rays, like a holy fire burning away all evil. A giant beam of light shot straight up from the church, its power directly striking the giant red eye above without hesitation. The evil god's eye cracked, fissures spreading across its surface. A crazed voice echoed through the air. Arg, who dares to stop my descent? From afar, the scene looked like a bizarre spectacle. The church blazed with a radiant light, a powerful energy wave shooting straight into the evil god's eye, like a declaration of war between light and darkness. Back to reality, Teresa asked heartbrokenly. Why, Li Zuo? Why are mortals so easily tempted? I clearly gave them land, gave them hope, but they still betrayed me, joining the evil god, Li Zuo questioned. None, Teresa. Falanga nearby also exclaimed. Is this the legendary Silver Eye? Could she be? Saintess Silver Eyes Teresa. A renowned figure from 100 years ago, they say her silver eyes can judge any evil. To avoid harming ordinary people, she chose to keep them closed forever. Li Zuo curiously asked. That's weird. Why did she look at me earlier? And I was fine. Falanga looked at Teresa with admiration. The reflection of the evil god's descent was probably destroyed by her opening her eyes. That's terrifying. At least hero rank and above, Teresa was still repeating her question. Lian Zuo, why? Why would they want to betray me? Everyone watching started commenting. What's wrong with the saintess? The halo behind her is cracking. Is her Dao heart breaking? Spent 100 years researching intensive farming, teaching tens of thousands of people, but the farmers turned bad just like that. Modred, seeing her like this, laughed maniacally. Ha ha! What an unexpected harvest. The saintess is about to fall. He began to tempt her. Saintess, do you know why the farmers turned bad? Join the Stuka, the devourer of all things. Become a great demon under him. You will immediately understand the reason and gain the power to control tens of thousands of people, Falanga said worriedly. Crap, the saintess is about to turn bad. Once she does, she'll immediately level up to become a devouring chosen, a great demon under its command, Li Zuo asked again, surprised. What? He was shocked to see the scene of the nun about to turn into a great demon. The saintess is falling. This situation is tricky. He hurriedly asked the livestream viewers, Hey, my awesome friends, any ideas? Nun Teresa is about to fall, user 16 commented. I'm no psychology expert, Anyone, user 16, a history expert, suggested, OP, follow my method, alright, I'm counting on you. While Teresa was agonizing over her Dao heart, Lin Zuo suddenly understood. I know why. He approached her and said, I've already told you about the principle of exploitation. Peasant revolts are inevitable, but joining the evil god's side is because they have limited vision, lack a guiding principle. I have a principle to teach the masses, not relying on those religions. I can teach you. He reached out his hand to Teresa. Teresa returned to her pure, saintly appearance, saying emotionally, This is the word of a saint. My almost fallen soul is saved again. Modred, seeing the situation change in an instant, howled, No, impossible. Even falling can be reversed. You were destined to be the fallen saintess under the devourer of all things. He told Teresa, Holding things in isn't good for you. He then handed her a circular club covered in sharp iron spikes. Use this to shut that demon head up. Teresa timidly lowered her head, clutching her weapon tightly, and asked softly, Can I really do this? Teresa exclaimed. The saint is so gentle. On the other side, Falanga watched quietly, eyebrows furrowing as he thought, This isn't good. Modred sensed his end was near. No longer as arrogant as before, he quickly begged, Wait, Silver Eyes Saintess. Teresa raised her weapon, ready to finish him off. Don't come any closer, Aya. She swung her weapon down, and he managed to mutter, Bastard. Teresa spat with anger. You're the one corrupting the common people. One day I'll crush whoever's behind you. Li Zuo, observing from afar, was surprised. Wow, that's incredible, he thought to himself. It seems she's awakened some strange aspect. Teresa's expression suddenly turned deranged, with none of her previous saintly demeanors. Her face was smeared with Modred's blood, and she said, I'm feeling much better now. A golden mark appeared on her forehead, shining brightly. She frowned slightly, her voice filled with surprise. Ah, wait. She felt changes within her body. Her realm, stagnant for nearly 100 years, suddenly broke through. Teresa advanced from first-stage legend to second-stage legend. This sudden transformation made Teresa glance over at Li Zuo, her eyes full of suspicion. She pondered. Could it be? Is he the great sage of legend? Li Zuo asked with concern. Are you okay? Defeating Baron Modred earned 2x rockets, 15x captains, and Zhao effect. After deducting 9 parts, balance 27,642. Fans 1826. Defeating Baron Modred earned 2x rockets, 15x captains, and Zhao effect. After deducting 9 parts, balance 27,642. Fans 1826. Fans count exceeded 1,000. Live stream room upgraded to 1,000 fan base. Unlocked green card pool, activated live stream shopping function. The next day at the Mercenary Guild, the guild was bustling with mercenaries, and a loud voice rang out. What? She said we need at least 4 people to form a mercenary team. It was Li Zuo's voice, and he said with difficulty, Where am I supposed to find a 4th person for you now? The guild official could only inform, Apologies, but this is the guild's rule. Suddenly, a voice from behind asked, Can I join you all? It was Teresa. Her appearance surprised all the mercenaries. Sister Teresa, she called out to him. Honorable sage, she told him she wanted to follow the sage, listen, and document his divine doctrines. Everyone around gossiped. Santa's Silver Eyes got recruited. Amazing. With a legendary ranked companion, they can probably roam the other world easily. Li Zuo spoke up. Didn't I tell you the basics last night? Teresa replied. That's not enough, honorable sage. There are so many details I don't understand. I want to be the one to record your sacred words. The crowd clutched their heads, lamenting in regret. No, our healing goddess Teresa has been stolen, a guild member asked. So Sister Teresa is joining this mercenary team, right? Teresa answered. Yes, besides healing, I don't know any attack techniques. I'm truly grateful that the captain agreed to take in someone as clueless as me. The captain smiled awkwardly, thinking to herself, what a humble brag. Even the guild's head couldn't guess her level. She has to be at least a transcendent healer, the captain asked. So have you all decided on a name and emblem for your team? Lin Zuo grinned. Of course we have, he declared loudly. We're the Cultivation Mercenary Team, a 4-member squad of warrior, priest, mage, and archer, officially established today. The captain placed an emblem on the table and said, This is your emblem, Captain. Your newly formed mercenary team will start at rank F, Please work hard, Captain. Li Zuo held up the emblem and started enthusiastically urging fans to send gifts. Everyone, aren't you going to gift something? The first Li Zuo has established a mercenary team. We'll take you exploring the other world, the audience commented. Go, Li Zuo 666. Who would have thought you'd form a mercenary team? Go, Li Zuo. Feels like watching a child grow up. Li Zuo announced. Cultivation mercenary team, move out. The next day at Hongdiep Fort, Li Zuo comforted Jennifer. Please, madame, calm your grief. The countess, her face filled with sorrow, instructed them. I'll only see you off until here, Sir Li Zuo. Thank you for saving me. To which Li Zuo politely replied, Madame, it's what I should do. I'm the one who should apologize for not being able to save the Baron. The madame didn't blame him, saying, his downfall was his choice. In fact, I share some of the blame. We had many children together, but they all died young, and he gradually became irritable. I went back to my parents' house for a few years, and when I returned, he had already descended into darkness. Li Zuo said, I think that's why he was lured by the evil god and became corrupted, wanting to sacrifice to have an heir. Hearing this made the countess even more heartbroken, sobbing, hoo. Falangen quietly observed from behind, thinking, what about you, Li Zuo? Would an evil god like you also lead people to corruption? The madame, wiping her tears, said, even if we have a child then, it would only be a product of corruption. Jennifer continued. Let's not talk about this anymore. To repay you for saving me, I'll give you a carriage. Then she placed a purse in his hand, sincerely saying, take these 200 gold coins as travel expenses. Please accept them. She looked at him tenderly, sincerely saying, of course, you could also choose to stay with me. Li Zuo was startled by the offer as everyone around started gossiping excitedly. Oh, the madame has taken a liking to Li Zuo. She wants to keep him. Go for it, Li Zuo. Mind your business. Why are you hurrying him? What if Li Zuo just wants to mooch off since his health isn't good? Li Luo hurriedly made his exit. Farewell, madame. Behind him, the countess called out, wait. But he didn't stop, as if afraid even a pause would seal his fate, as the countess's kept man, in reality, at his sister's house. Lin Jing sighed in relief. Finally, the journey's over. She opened the cabinet to find something to drink, and saw a lot of papaya juice inside, muttering, what's that idiot thinking? Keeping so much papaya juice in the fridge, who's gonna drink all this? Oh well, I'll just help him manage the live stream. Get those important members in first. She opened her phone, renamed the group chat to Lian Zuo's official fan club, and saw IDs like Queen herself joined the group, the Wallman joined the group, History Expert joined the group, members joined one by one, and Queen herself messaged first, oh, the admin made a group, Queen herself sent a picture, and History Expert went, wow, that picture. The Wallman said, sis, send more. Lin Jing didn't expect such a big audience, cursing silently. What's with this show-off woman? Jumping in with pics. She grabbed a papaya juice, grumpily drinking a sip. Fine, I'll reluctantly drink this papaya juice. She was still mulling over not just whether Li Zuo could cross worlds and return, but also about the loan shark she was dealing with here. Even with those magical beans, it's treating the symptoms, not the cause. Is there someone mature in this chat? Maybe I should ask. She started typing in the group chat. Her ID was Oni-chan is a fool. Hey everyone, I need some advice. What should I do if loan sharks are threatening me? The Wallman replied immediately. Is the admin being harassed? Call the police. History Expert agreed. Listen to the guy above. Call the police. Lin Jing replied. Tried that, but they kept coming back. Queen herself asked. Loan sharks, I'll help you, sis. Come to the Letian building tomorrow. I'll help you solve it. Lin Jing held her phone, reading the address she'd been given. Letian building. In front of her stood a grand skyscraper. She looked at the tower skeptically, asking, is this the place? Is this really the place my online friend mentioned? You've got to be kidding. A pair of stylish red heels approached. A very fashionable older sister looked at her, asking, hey, you're here. You're the admin. Oni-chan is a fool, right? That was Queen herself. Meanwhile, Li Zuo was on the road to Lantis City. The carriage raced down the road at breakneck speed, with Elizabeth driving, calling, go, inside. Lin Zuo's voice commanded, system, pull up the prize wheel screen. Although I've currently leveled up to 1,000 fans and upgraded my green token pool, I can only afford to spin the wheel 10 times at once just to try my luck. The rest of the money needs to be saved. Since my little sister's about to start school, I gotta earn an extra 3,000 yuan for her first semester's tuition fees. My strength is all from painstaking cultivation, bit by bit. Let's see what your limits are. System, spin the wheel. The prize gourd for 10 spins costs 198. The items gradually appear. Bgu Dan, Zhen fruit, Gilong Xuan Gongjing, Liu Yan flying sword, Nian bean, Nian demon ring, Nian bean, Gi Yuan Dan, Nian bean, Zhen fruit. You've obtained skill books. Upgrading Lianqi Introduction to Lianqi Advanced. Nearby, Fagenla is observing Teresa, silently thinking that it's unexpected for a powerhouse like Saint Teresa to join the ranks of the God of Darkness. Li Xuo feels like things are getting harder to control. Unlike those other dark gods that devour and demand blood sacrifices, this one seems more like he's just window shopping. What is he planning, really? She turns to look and is shocked to see Lin Zuo in the process of leveling up. She thinks in astonishment, is he leveling up right here? Wait a minute, beauty's joining leads to leveling up. Could it be that restoring his power means building a divine harem on Earth? She's terrified at the thought of a harem with countless beauties surrounding him, each with their own charm. So if that's the case, I'll have to find women for the God of Darkness. Li Zuo happily announces to everyone, hey fam, am I lucky or what? I got a flying sword, an actual cultivation flying sword. Now I can take down enemies from 1,000 miles away. Haha. People comment, awesome, lucky draw indeed. So jealous. Eat something healthier, will you? He smugly tells them, am I awesome or what? Haha. Teresa, sitting beside them, doesn't understand the special terms he's using and says, ah, the sage is speaking divine language again. She quickly jots down the terms she doesn't understand in her notebook, thinking those words surely have special meaning. Is it awesome? Is that divine language? Better write it down fast. After jotting down the word, she turns to him and asks, Master, what does this divine awesome mean? Li Zuo, caught off guard by the question, hesitates for a moment. He explains simply to Teresa that awesome is the highest form of praise you can give someone, typically used with only the closest of friends. Teresa admires him, saying, as expected of the sage, truly amazing. Elizabeth grows more and more curious about his background. Just what kind of being is he, anyway? Just a kiss can level someone up, and there's no sign of corruption. Oh my, stop overthinking. Wait, hold on. Why does his effect resemble the world tree? Water from the world tree makes people youthful. Water from his teapot rejuvenates. His teapot contains the breath of the world tree. Its fruits can level people up, and even his kiss can level people up. Could it be he's actually the incarnation of the world tree? Maybe so. I need to find a chance to verify this. Suddenly sensing something amiss, she frowns slightly, her eyes scanning the surroundings swiftly, and her voice full of vigilance rings out, who's there? From afar, a squadron of cavalry emerges, dust rising as their figures grow clearer in the dim light. Equipped with gleaming swords and armor reflecting a cold light, the entire army exudes a menacing aura. Elizabeth recognizes them as the Heartless Knights. She muses to herself, the bloodthirsty god of darkness's watchdogs. How did they bypass the holy barrier? How could they penetrate this deeply? A knight in chilly armor swung his sword high, his low and ruthless voice reverberating. Die! Elizabeth froze, panic creeping in as she blurted out, what? The knight's sharp blade sliced through the air, aiming to end her life in an instant. Just then, a shrill sound echoed as Lin Zuo's sword intercepted the path of death. The powerful block pushed the knight back. He let out an angry roar, the chilling sound freezing the air, and his resentment seemed to spread everywhere. Lin Zuo stepped down from the carriage and said, who the heck is ruining my dream? Falanga explained. This isn't just any trash. They're hunting hounds of the god of death, notorious as ever. He nonchalantly replied, oh really? When knights who believed in chivalry betrayed and slaughtered their comrades, falling into the embrace of the god of death, they degenerate into heartless knights. They endlessly kill living beings to stuff their hearts into their chest cavities, filling their void, and they keep cycling like that forever. These are the murderous hunting hounds, the Heartless Knights. Hearing about his opponent, Li Zuo chuckled with interest. Ha ha, he arrogantly said. Perfect timing. I'll use you guys to test blades for our mercenary group. Lin Zuo began introducing his team. Our crew has all those rare professions that every mercenary group admires, including mages, priests, and adventurers, led by me, a transcendent without any attack magic. But, he said to Teresa, with an extraordinary healer like you around, we basically won't be in danger, so I can advance with confidence. Mage plus me in melee, you heal, an ideal three-man fighting combo. The live audience commented, so easy to teach, Dalinzi has played games like this before, isn't it? Go go, fight well and I'll make you team captain. Task announcement for viewers, defeat the Heartless Knight to become a squad captain. In reality, Tu Yixiang eagerly said, then let me see if this trio is practical in this game. Inside, Lian Zuo loudly shouted, alrighty, I'm on it. The history buff also replied, the monster fighting game is so boring, I'll read some books while waiting. The knight swung his sword at Li Zuo again, determined to finish him off once more. But before the knight's sword could strike, a powerful weapon blocked it, emitting a sharp clashing sound. Lian Zuo was stunned, looking at Teresa in surprise, stammering, what? He stood dumbfounded as Teresa rushed forward, using her strength to unleash a fierce blow that pushed the knight back. Teresa lowered the weapon, still stained with the opponent's blood, smiling sweetly, her face full of confidence. Oops, forgot to mention that although I have no attack magic, the meteor hammer given by the sage fits me perfectly, she said, her eyes gleaming mischievously. All three of them were dumbfounded. Especially Lian Zuo was more shocked hearing her words. Damn, I just randomly picked it for you to let out some steam. In reality, Tu Yixiang, watching the fight, couldn't help but choke on water, incredulously thinking, a melee priest? The history buff thought to himself, a melee priest is usually big and bald, right? This contrast is just too big. High-level priests can recover instantly after getting hurt. Combined with the strength of a legendary body, they're almost invincible. Could this be the legendary combat priest who doesn't need any healing anymore? Lian Zuo quickly said, no, don't panic. Just think of Sister Teresa as me. I can fight from a distance too. As long as Falanga starts the attack, the trio will be fine. Falanga, attack now. Falanga thought to herself, it's a good chance to test the power of my upgraded spells, starting with a simple spell, Bloodline Ice Plus, Ice Dragon Technique. She waved her hand, and the spell unleashed fiercely towards the knights, sending icy gusts around, quickly covering everything. Tiny ice shards gradually spread, sticking to the shining armor of the knights. In the blink of an eye, the knights were frozen solid, turning into cold ice statues, standing still like deadly monuments in the snowy field. Lian Zuo boasted, see that? That's the power of a bloodline mage. But suddenly, Falanga collapsed. Trembling weakly, she said, ah, my ice bloodline is suppressed. All my magic power is drained. Li Zuo was shocked. You could only cast one spell. What kind of mage is this? He glanced to the side, realizing, ah, right. I still have Elizabeth. As long as she starts shooting arrows, everything will be better. He moved behind Elizabeth, pointed towards the enemy, and commanded her, shoot them dead. As their bodies brushed closely, Elizabeth caught the fragrance from him, the scent of the spirit world tree. Indeed, it has the aura of the world tree, she thought to herself, feeling weak in her knees. Zhu Tang watched this trio with embarrassment, covering his face. This isn't a solid trio at all, completely unlike standard fantasy fare. Just then, Teresa, like his savior, said, honored sage, I've completed the task. Seeing her bloodthirsty appearance, he realized he seems to have awakened one of her unparalleled talents, the legendary kill all enemies and need no healing ability. Teresa also told them, sorry for making everyone suffer, I apologize. Everyone watching was excitedly commenting, Sister Teresa is amazing. I've decided to establish a Sister Teresa Protection Association. I'll join the fan club now. Sister Teresa, please trample on me, whip me with that thing. I want to repent to you. Another objected. How rude. This is Falanga's fan club territory. That was a great hit. I'm joining the fan club. Main representative. Meanwhile, Lian Zuo was still busy thinking, strange, why is this heartless knight showing up here? While Elizabeth had collapsed to the ground, she thought to herself, as expected, this man carries the World Tree's aura. I understand now. He must be the incarnation of the World Tree's seed. Not some evil god, just me underestimating the illusions created by someone stronger. Next, I need to slowly guide him to awaken the World Tree's talent, and then bring him back to the Elf Sanctuary to save the World Tree. Suddenly, a loud noise erupted behind them. Bam! A powerful explosion sent birds flying wildly in the sky. Lian Zuo sensed a shift in the atmosphere. Immediately on alert, he turned to look in that direction, his sharp eyes noticing so their target was there all along. Over there, the knights had regrouped, quickly mounted their horses, and neatly lined up in a row, ready to attack. But just as they were about to make their move, a sudden wave of assault hit them. A mysterious figure emerged from the shadows, brandishing a blade, the sound of wind slicing through the air as he shouted, "Get lost!" Each knight was sent flying back. That mysterious figure was a bull-headed man, a rank F mercenary. He introduced himself as Bloodhoof, and with a courageous voice he declared, "If you want to touch them, you'll have to step over my dead body first." It turned out he was protecting the weak old man and his grandson. The old man hugged his grandson tightly, his expression a mix of worry and gratitude, softly saying, "I'm counting on you, Bloodhoof." His grandson, eyes full of fear, tremblingly called, "Grandpa." Shu Dai thought guiltily. Was my involvement really the cause of their misfortune? I met this grandfather and his grandson just half an hour ago. The old man's carriage passed by Shuedi while he was walking. Out of kindness, the old man offered him a ride, shouting, "Hey, mercenary, do you need a lift? We're heading into the city as well." Shuedi politely declined. No need. But the old man insisted. "Come on, hop in, you can guard us as payment." Under the old man's enthusiasm, Shu Dia, seemingly against his better judgment, agreed to join them. When he faced the heartless knights, putting himself in danger and involving innocent people, Shui Di regretted his momentary softness. Was his kind-heartedness going to doom others? Overwhelmed by guilt, Shu Dia went berserk with a thirst for blood. He wanted to annihilate all those cruel knights, his chest filled with burning fury. Suddenly, it was as if a god of war possessed him. His combat power surged. He fought manically, his blade like the scythe of death, claiming the lives of anyone who dared harm the innocent. But in the midst of such brutality, he realized his rage had made him forget the calmness a warrior should possess. In a moment of lost reason, Shudin let down his guard. When he came to his senses, an enemy's sword had already pierced him. The sharp sword had run him through, while the heartless knight atop a horse declared arrogantly, "The hunter has shown his fangs." The silhouette of a female knight stood amid the bloody scene, calm as a deity descended to earth. The pale moonlight glinted off her silver armor, highlighting a beauty and fear that seemed otherworldly. Her sword slowly withdrew from Shudi, and he screamed in agony, his cries echoing far and wide, making the heavens and earth tremble. He recognized her as soon as the light hit her face. Commander of the Heartless Knights, Elena, the fallen goddess of war chosen by the god of slaughter. The renowned third-stage hero was none other than the figure standing before him. This is the sword that legends say vanquished 11 kings. Shu Dai's entire body trembled, he thought. No wonder it's the sword blessed by the sinister god of slaughter. Feeling utterly immobilized, Elena looked at him, her voice cold yet tinged with mockery. A hornless bull as a sacrificial offering, how amusing. Shu Di immediately understood she had seen through his intentions. Indeed, all the actions of this knight squad were aimed at him. He'd been found out. It was all directed at him. Suddenly, the small child in the old man's arms rushed forward, tiny legs bravely charging towards Shu Dai. The innocent yet resolute voice rang out, "Mr. Bull!" The old man behind panicked, eyes filled with terror at his grandson's actions. His mind screamed in despair, "Wait!" Shu Dai froze, worry written clearly on his face. He shouted, voice hoarse with fear, "Wait, don't come over!" But everything unfolded too quickly. Before he could gather his thoughts, a hunter lunged, blade descending without hesitation. Steel flashed through the air and then crimson stained the earth. The small child tumbled down, limp on the cold ground, blood flowing incessantly from the wound. Shu Dai screamed, a howl of pain and fury. "Stop! Didn't you knights swear to protect the people?" The knight ignored his plea, spurred the horse, raising the sword to finish the fragile life. Despite the unbearable pain, the small child lifted his head, tear-filled eyes looking at Shu Dai, choking between sobs, "Mr. Bull," and Shu Dai's heart ached, pondering, did I cause another innocent to die? Pain washed over Shu Di. He shook his head, his voice raspy. No. Just then, from afar, a blade surged through the air, its cold gleam slicing through the atmosphere. The blade intercepted the sword just before it could strike the child, creating a sharp, resonating sound. The knight was stopped in his tracks, his cold eyes turning towards the newly appeared blade. In a vexed tone, he said, "Hey, you guys! Planning to meddle in my business?" Li Zuo stepped forward, his demeanor relaxed, as if he was completely unfazed by the tense atmosphere around him. He smirked, a playful smile on his lips. "Committing murder here, are we?" Everyone watching his casual demeanor started commenting. "What a show-off, he's got guts, not bad, this entrance isn't shabby." Yet amidst all the attention, Li Zuo pondered internally. Should I signal to them, see if an NPC mission triggers? His gaze landed on the old man clutching his grandchild fearfully. His voice, though calm, showed concern. "Anyone need a hand?" Shu Dai immediately spoke up, urgency in his voice. "Please, great sir, save them." The system issued a quest notification. Plea of the Minotaur. The otherworldly Minotaur publicly announced the quest, begging for you to save 2 villagers, reward being Triple Captain X3. Sensing the lucrative hidden quest, Li Zuo barely concealed his excitement. He laughed, his tone light but meaningful. "The Minotaur knows his manners, huh? Let's do this." Li Zuo pointed decisively toward the opponent, Sun Lang. Sun Lang, standing right behind him, replied loudly. "Yes." Sun Lang cast his gaze over the opponent, as if sizing up every detail. After a moment, he raised an eyebrow, speaking nonchalantly. "European knight, huh?" He let out a derisive snort, unable to hide his disdain. Each of Sun Lang's footsteps echoed through the air, dust swirling with every step he took. His hand moved slowly towards his back, his body poised for a decisive action. As he touched the horse's back, Sun Lang laughed heartily. "Borrowing your horse for a bit, okay." With a deft leap, he landed firmly on the horse's back. Exuding a powerful aura, he laughed proudly. "Ha ha! A warrior needs a horse to truly be a warrior." From atop the horse, Sun Lang gazed intently at the imposing Elena standing before him, boldly asking, "Who goes there?" Not waiting for her response, he commanded again, his voice overpowering. "State your name." Elena, unfazed, slowly unsheathed her sword. The blade glinted with a chilling light, her gaze steady like a calm, unruffled lake. "Captain of the Heartless Knights." Sun Lang immediately swung his blade, a powerful sweep hurtling straight towards her. A thunderous clash resounded, the surrounding rocks shattering and scattering everywhere. Sun Lang chuckled lightly, his voice contemplative yet slightly admiring. "You've got some skill." Elena didn't respond, her gaze remaining icily calm, as if all praises and criticism were beneath her notice. But the moment she unexpectedly shifted direction, Li Zuo's sharp eyes instantly spotted something amiss. He furrowed his brows, thinking to himself, "Evenly matched. This isn't good, I've fallen for it, her target is." Sun Lang wasn't slow to react either. He immediately recognized the dangerous situation, shouting out a warning. "Elder, be careful, her target is you." Shui Di, now standing right beside Li Zuo, eyes filled with determination, his whole being tense like a drawn bow ready to spring at any moment. He roared a warning. "Watch out!" Elena, with the imposing presence of a war deity, riding as one with her battle steed, charged without hesitation, her sword arm raised high, the sharp blade aimed at Li Zuo. At this moment, Li Zuo was thinking, to capture the enemy, you must first capture the king, right? He started focusing his flame energy in his hand, feeling highly offended when he saw Elena targeting him as if she thought he was the weakest in the team. Totally underestimated. He drew his saber, pulsating with power, and shouted, "Liu Yan Flying Sword." The green sword, infused with spiritual energy, activated the armor-piercing effect. Onlookers were amazed, commenting, "Whoa, is this the legendary flying sword of a cultivator? Scary. Looks pretty cool too, Cremon streamer, go kill her." Shu Dean, standing nearby, also felt this terrifying power. Trembling, he thought, "So hot. What kind of weapon is this?" Shu Dean urgently warned Li Zuo, "Be careful, her armor is blessed by the god of slaughter, even heroes can't break through it, it's invincible." Hearing this, Li Zuo showed no fear. He waved his hand, commanding the flying sword, "Go!" The sword in his hand seemed alive, shooting forward and tearing through the air towards Elena with immense power. Opposite him, Elena's eyes flashed with surprise at her opponent's unexpected strength, yet she maintained her cool, unafraid. The flying sword sped forth, carrying the sound of a piercing wind. As it hit Elena, a massive explosion erupted, sending shockwaves through the air, dirt and rocks flying everywhere. After the explosion, Li Zuo's sword was deeply embedded in the ground, exuding an imposing aura. Shui Di, next to him, couldn't hide his admiration. What? What kind of sword is this? Its power is terrifying. The ground beneath was sunken, creating a large trough several meters long and wide. Li Zuo let out a breath. Phew! Seems the flying sword's power isn't too shabby. While the old man watching trembled in awe at this display of strength, Shu Dai stood stunned. What? Just then, Falanga's group arrived. Sir, we're here to support you, Li Zuo casually replied. Oh, finally you guys are here, Elena's footsteps echoed. Steady yet heavy, she walked slowly towards them, exuding a cool and badass vibe. Though there were hints of injury from Lian Zuo's recent attack, thanks to her armor, most of the flying sword's force was nullified. Except for a few small scratches, she was nearly unscathed. Seeing this, Li Zuo began gathering spirit energy for the sword again, ready to unleash a second attack. HMPH, no wonder the armor blessed by the evil god one sword didn't finish her. Let's see a few more. Elena's knights simultaneously drew their weapons, ready to charge. But surprisingly, Elena raised her hand and ordered, Stop! Her eyes focused intently on Lian Zuo, mixing curiosity with seriousness. What kind of martial art is this? Everyone commented. A peak cultivation technique that knocked her flying. HMPH. Whatever female deity she claims to be, it's just this. Even the greatest temple in my hometown can proclaim itself with such titles. Get ready, phase 2 is coming, Li Zuo coldly said. Want to learn? I'll teach you. But she seemed uninterested, turning around to leave, which left Lian Zuo utterly shocked. She mounted her horse, saying with regal authority, I'll let you off this time. Li Zuo couldn't help but silently praise. No wonder she's a hero level. Even a flying sword couldn't harm her. Seems I can't take down over-leveled bosses without using Dragon General. Could it be she spared me because she realized my hidden ace? Suddenly, he heard Shu Dai's worried voice calling out, Little girl. An old man also anxiously called, My daughter. Shu Dai quickly cradled her in his arms, his face full of concern. Her whole body trembled uncontrollably, and Shu Dai realized, Oh no, the kid's been hit by the Heartless Knight's cursed sword. He spoke anxiously. The wound won't close. If the curse takes hold, it'll kill her. He blamed himself silently. Am I really going to cause another death? Shu Dai called out to the girl in despair. Teresa appeared right on time, speaking gently. Excuse me, can I take a look? I'm a healer. Hope lit up in Shu Dai's eyes as he sincerely replied, Please, I'm counting on you, priest. Looking at the wound on the girl's back, Teresa noted. As expected, a cursed blade's wound only deepens. She concentrated her healing power in her hands to treat the girl. She said nonchalantly, But for me it's not a problem. The holy light healing spell gathered in her hands, gradually flowing into the girl's wound. Shu Dai realized, Wow, this holy light healing spell instantly cured the cursed sword wound, and it's a spell with holy light in its name. Is she really just a nun? There's even a saintly aura appearing behind her. After Teresa finished healing, Shu Dai took the girl gratefully, exclaiming, Thank you, Lady Nun. Teresa waved it off. No need for thanks, it was just a small thing. Helping others is what a sacred nun should do. Hearing her title, Shu Dai was utterly surprised and curious. A nun? You must at least be a cardinal in the church, right? At least hero level, aren't you? Lin Zuo was impressed by Teresa's righteous spirit and said, Well said, Teresa. Saving a life is more meritorious than building 7 towers. This is the true quality of our Cultivator Mercenary Guild. The system issued a notification. Successful rescue of passerby. Reward, Captain X3. Seeing this, Shu Di was even more stunned. Who exactly is this hero? A high-level priest, sorcerer, and elf rover? Li Zuqiao's words were like a creed to Teresa, and she immediately prayed, saying, Saving a life is indeed more meritorious than building 7 towers. This is the wisdom of the sages. I'll record it. Shu Jia was again thoroughly shocked by the priest's earnest behavior. Is this for real? Li Zuo glanced at Shu Jia, appraising him. Right, this bull-headed warrior seems to be protecting humans. Everyone reminded me to try recruiting him. I've heard exotic beast warriors are incredibly strong. Recruit, I'll promote you to captain. The system issued another notification. Recruit successful. Bull-headed warrior Shu Jia. Reward, Captain X1. He approached the bull-headed warrior, saying, How should I address such a valiant one? Are you interested in joining my mercenary guild? We're short on people. Zhu Di was moved by the offer and said, Zhu Di, you'd really take in a hornless cow cursed like me. Hearing this, Li Zuo turned to ask Falanga. Hornless, she whispered in his ear. I heard the bull-headed clan regard horns as their pride. Being hornless means committing a severe error against the tribe, leading to expulsion. Usually those hornless are of bad character, lacking the tribe's backing, and no one dares to take them in. They can only become wandering rogues. Also, see how he's marked by the evil god, it's best not to recruit him. But Lilinzuo thought differently. You're wrong. Would a bad person save a stranger? Would a bad person stand fearlessly before me? Would a bad person shed tears for a child? I've seen noble beast folk and terrible humans. Before me now is a noble soul. Is this warrior willing to join my mercenary guild? Falanga was silent, blaming herself. I'm letting my first impressions guide me again, Falanga. Have you forgotten you also bear the evil god's mark? Teresa, hearing his words, said reverently. Such wisdom, it's like a revelation. Shuidi's mind buzzed with questions. Should I join? Will I cause more harm? A life of servitude. Unless they provide food and lodging, I'll end up a slave again. I can't fight them. What should I do? Hesitantly, Shui Dai made his choice. I'm joining. The system promptly chimed with a reward notification for him. Mission complete. Reward, Captain X1. At the Loan Shark Company, the entire office was filled with curses. Damn it, someone was so angry that they slammed their fist on the table trying to control their temper. The leader, with his hand bandaged, asked his cohorts loudly, what the heck was that thing anyway? Another, covered in injuries, replied, Boss, I think it might have been a bone demon, while the least injured one reported, in the end, we all passed out. I think it spared us. The boss, face swollen with bruises, declared with determination, even if it's a demon, it can't stop us from collecting our debts. Suddenly there was a knock on the door from outside, prompting one of the henchmen to shout cautiously. As he opened the door, he shouted, Who's there? Suddenly he found himself face to face with an enormous pair of breasts, causing him to blush fiercely as he silently gasped. The woman, known as the Queen, sashayed into the room with confidence, Li Jing trailing behind her like a little sister. The thug from before fell to his knees in fear, trembling as he thought, This woman's so intimidating. The remaining three in the room simultaneously looked towards the door, shouting, Who is it? The Queen asked coldly. Are you the ones who gave my girl here alone? Though standing behind Bai Qi, Lin Jing was still on high alert, clutching a bean tightly in her hand, ready to use it if things got out of control. If the situation can't be managed, she'll use the demon beans again. The thugs were intimidated by her extraordinary presence and stammered, Don't come any closer, what do you want? But nothing could stop Bai Qi's stride. She plopped down on the sofa in the room, casually propping her feet on the table, and said in a laid-back tone, I heard you guys were giving my sister here some trouble. The leader finally put two and two together. Oh, it's this little girl, huh? You're here to stand up for her. He still had some reservations, thinking, I hope she doesn't summon that demon again. Bai Qi, looking troubled, said, Do you not realize that loan sharking is illegal? The boss paid no mind to her words, laughing, You have no evidence, how could you possibly get us? His voice took on a sinister tone. Just threaten the debtors. Tell them if they dare go to the police, we'll kill their whole family. After a few threats, who's gonna risk speaking up? He looked over at Lin Jing, mocking. That girl with glasses over there, wasn't your dad the same way? Suddenly changing his tone with a perverted look, he leered at Bai Qi. Of course, if you spend a night with me, I might just lower the interest rate for you. While he was being arrogant, Bai Qi had already dialed someone from her phone. Clearly, the other side listened to this entire conversation. Bai Qi asked the person on the phone, Deputy Director Chen, Did you hear that clearly? The voice on the other end respectfully replied, Crystal clear, Chairwoman Bai. Commence the operation. The boss still couldn't fully grasp what was happening, but he felt something was definitely off. What? Suddenly, armed police officers smashed through the window, aiming their guns at the thugs and shouting, Commence the operation. The officers entered with an imposing presence. Their cold voices echoed, Police, don't move. The gang leader was caught by the police and slammed onto the table, and even then the officer ordered, Don't move, he groaned. Ouch, officer, I'm just a good citizen. Bai Ji finally spoke up. We couldn't catch you before because we lacked evidence. This time we've got plenty. Plus, threatening a famous, tax-paying businessman, you've just added another feather to your cap, it's over for you. The police car was waiting outside, and inside, the gang members were wailing, "No, no." Meanwhile, in another world, amidst peaceful hills, Lin Zuo's cheerful voice echoed, "All right, our squad has gained another member." He patted Blood Brother on the shoulder and sincerely said, "From now on, you're officially part of our team." Blood Brother was just as delighted and replied, all right, boss." Suddenly, Blood Brother fell silent, not saying another word. Seeing his demeanor, the viewers got curious, each having a different theory. Why isn't this bull guy talking? A truly talented subordinate he must be. Looks like even this bull has his own past. An old man came forward and earnestly said to Lin Zuo, "Sir, thank you for saving my daughter. We wish to enter the city as well. Might you be heading in the same direction?" Upon hearing the old man's request, Lin Zuo turned to look. With a friendly smile, he replied, "Coincidentally, we're headed the same way. Let's go together." The old man, moved by his agreement, responded emotionally, "Thank you, sir. Having you with us feels much safer." At this point, Teresa approached from behind and said to him, "Sir, I've always had a question. Why do the beast tribes always resort to plundering, rather than settling into a stable job like Blood Brother did? Could it be that these otherworldly beings are inherently evil, as they say?" Lin Zuo, after hearing her question, said, "This question, huh? Let's discuss it on the carriage." In his mind, he was silently pleading for help. "Oh, omnipotent beings at home, save me." Everyone was chatting animatedly. "This nun has such a simple mindset. Hasn't she ever been in politics? History expert, your turn on stage. Maybe we should use reality as an example." The carriage slowly began its journey again, speeding along the road with a whoosh. And inside, a voice called out, "Sir!" Teresa continued with her unresolved question. Isn't it better for beast tribes to peacefully farm? Or is it truly because they worship evil gods and are inherently wicked? Lin Zuo, while looking at the map, ponderingly said, "This question, huh?" Internally, he was reviewing comments to come up with a reasonable answer. "I'm viewing their map through your eyes, speak as I do, top-notch history expert." He suddenly turned to ask Falanga, "As the daughter of the Western Frontier Duke, you're familiar with the borderlands. Is it true that the outskirts of the fortress face less rainfall?" Falanga, surprised to hear her name, was stunned momentarily before replying, "Yes." She continued, "Not just the western frontier. The east and south frontiers also receive very little rain, while the northern frontier is practically an icy wasteland, notoriously hard to survive in." Teresa, upon learning of Falanga's identity, said, "So you're the Western Frontier Princess. Pleased to meet you. I'm sorry about what happened to your father." Elizabeth was also surprised by Falanga's identity and thought to herself, "So she's the Western Frontier Duke's daughter," Falanga replied. "It's fine. What's done is done. What's important is revenge." Falanga continued, "The belief fortresses were constructed by the churches with the faith of the believers, serving to block evil races and their gods from encroaching on human land. The only way to break through is to find a breach in the belief fortress, or by corrupting a part of it through sacrifices to evil gods." Her slender finger pointed to a spot on the map and said, "From the map, we can see that the belief fortresses encircle the empire within this boundary, and this area is precisely why those otherworldly tribes keep invading. It encloses the edge of the 400 millimeters rainfall line." Teresa, hearing this, exclaimed in surprise, "What?" Lin Zuo further explained to her. The so-called rainfall line demarcates the boundary between semi-arid and semi-wet regions, serving as the dividing line between forest and desert vegetation. Humans occupy lands abundant in rain for agriculture, while the tribes outside can't farm, forcing them to become nomads traversing the deserts. Though we often say serfs can only rely on the sky for meals, the same applies to the tribes. Poor crop growth or heavy winter snows can freeze their livestock to death, and when they're short on food, they can only raid southward. Hence, one could say that our occupation of farmable land within the rainfall line leads the tribes to raid southward. After hearing all this, Teresa, still startled, once again exclaimed, "What?" Falanga heard his explanation and was quite impressed, mixed with curiosity. How did he figure out this rule? Our elf tribe's history doesn't even record this. Is this why every generation of the clan has to protect the Western Territory? He continued, Tribes with shamans are better off. They can slightly alter the weather. Tribes without shamans have only two choices. Most, due to harsh environments, choose to join the evil gods and head south to pillage. A small part chooses to serve humans as mercenaries, or are exploited by humans to attack beastmen. Teresa immediately dove into his embrace, anxiously asking, "Does the sage have any plans to stop their pillaging?" He replied tensely, "Well, I've got some ideas beside them." Falanga and Elizabeth grumbled. Big-breasted nun with no brain. Teresa voiced her understanding. So, when the Central Nations are strong, they are just entertainers. But when the Central Nations are weak, they become terrifying raiders. As long as the Central Nations are strong enough, outsiders wouldn't dare cross the wall of belief. Hundreds of years ago, were such raids not much less frequent. It's a pity that now the lands are heavily invaded, nations and religions have weakened, giving evil and outsiders an opportunity. Liuzuo agreed. That's indeed the case. He added, "Of course, there's another method. Liberating and boosting productivity." His face fell. Suddenly, his eyes sparkled as he sensed something amiss. Falanga unexpectedly lunged into his arms, anxiously calling, "Master!" She had knocked Lianzuo down. Falanga's eyes were earnest, and she said, "Please tell me how to stop the beastmen from invading. Maybe I can save the Western Territory." Elizabeth, seeing her get so close to him, said irritably, "TCH," jumping on him just for an answer. "How shameless!" Falanga continued, "I came into town mainly to warn my uncle that the beastmen have broken through to the border, telling him to prepare defenses. If we can stop their invasion, we could save tens of millions of people." Li Zuo, somewhat unwilling, said, "It won't work. Humans aren't willing to help outsiders boost productivity. It's not just outsiders, even amongst their kind, they won't lend a hand. Those aloof mages, with a wave of their hands, can summon storms and change weather. Druids can help plants grow but care only for the forests and won't leave the mountains. They even develop magic crystal technology mainly for warfare and for the nobility to use. These things obviously could aid agriculture and help farmers live better, like a magic essence harvester, enabling mages to summon rain or druids to create fertilizer. Moreover, I heard the elf tribe even has a tree of life that nurtures all things. If I were the tree of life, I'd help the lower to middle class farmers, even outsiders. All this because they think farmers are too lowly to bother with. Plus, due to land annexation, the strength of the nations is slowly dwindling." Elizabeth, hearing him mention the world tree, was very moved. The world tree? Did he just say he's the world tree? He must be the seed of the world tree. When he matures, he will truly be the world tree, no doubt. Elizabeth was even bolder than the other two. She directly jumped to embrace him and said, "Master, please save the world tree, won't you?" Hearing this, he thought, bewildered, "What's going on? Weren't we initially talking about finding seeds in the city? How did it shift to saving trees? Do I look like fertilizer?" Falanga watched her actions and sneered, "TCH, as if you wouldn't do the same." He continued to speak. "Unite all the great talents of various races to research techniques to boost productivity for the benefit of all. This continent hasn't reached its population limit yet. By boosting productivity, the population could reach over 20 billion. In other words, before this continent maxes out its production capacity and population explodes, we have at least 1,000 years of peace, assuming there's no war or interference from evil gods or the gods." Hearing this, Teresa was moved, thinking, "This continent has wars every 10 years or so among the countries. 1,000 years of peace. What a magnificent and beautiful ideal," she said. "I want to see that day." Sincerely facing him, she expressed, "Sage, I'm willing to serve you wholeheartedly. I want to see the emergence of a millennium of peace among nations." Her attitude surprised him, and a notification from the system popped up. "Nun Teresa has become part of your family." Elizabeth thought privately. Indeed, if he's the seed of the world tree, living for 1,000 years is perfectly normal. Moreover, the world tree can easily lift an entire race. In everyone's hearts there were their own thoughts, Falanga thought, so this is what a peaceful solution is like. It's a pity it can't be realized in a short time, so this is a hero. I suddenly understand the female cultivator now. I really want to follow such a hero to achieve dreams like that. But I still have an unavenged grudge. I must go to Lantis City, find you to borrow people, using the power of the evil god to take revenge. The carriage slowly entered the second great city of the Western realm, Lantis City. At the royal city, a magnificent palace shone in the morning light. In the main hall, a subordinate rushed in to report, "Your Majesty, Urgent news from the Western realm. A person standing next to the king reminded the subordinate, "Really now, rushing in like this, how improper. You are in front of King Kate III of St. Paul." The king immediately spoke. "All right, my brother, don't make things difficult for the messenger. They are all serving the country. Go ahead and present it." After reading the letter, the king exclaimed in surprise, "What? The great Duke of the Western Realm has perished? The capital of the duchy was sacrificed, and beastmen have invaded and captured the Western Realm?" Others hearing the same news also shouted in shock, "What?" The king ordered his brother, "You immediately lead the Holy Knight Order to the Western Realm to drive out the beastmen." The brother respectfully replied, "Yes, yes, dear brother." The king was very worried inside, thinking, "What should I do now?" The king held the secret letter in hand, cursing quietly, "Damn it! Why did it have to be now?" His daughter also proposed, "Father, it doesn't seem appropriate to let the prince lead the army." He sighed, "My child, we have no choice. Currently, the kingdom is in chaos within and without, and we are lacking talents. At least he is part of our royal family, my brother." Just then, a subordinate pointed to someone next to him and reported further, "Your Majesty, this brave warrior has brought the head of the demon dragon to claim the reward." The person, holding the dragon's head in one hand, scratched his head awkwardly with the other and said, "King, I'm here to claim my reward." The king joyfully responded, "Thanks to this brave warrior for exterminating the demon dragon that was threatening the region." The princess behind him exclaimed, "Oh my gosh, a dragon-slaying warrior." The man bowed respectfully and said, "Loyalty to the kingdom." The princess whispered to her father again, "We are not lacking in talent, are we? Isn't this a talent right here? Just looking at this warrior, you can tell he's amazing." The king stroked his beard and laughed heartily. "Ha ha ha, indeed. Our country is indeed full of talents, and it's great to be young." The warrior giggled foolishly a few times at being praised. The king then asked him, "Dragon-slaying warrior, what reward do you desire? As long as it's within my power, I will grant it to you." He made a perplexing request. "I want you, your majesty." The princess watched him with interest. It was then that she realized how problematic this request was. Both father and daughter were stunned. The princess let out a, "Huh!" He continued, "King, your majestic beard is extremely attractive and highly alluring to me." This response caused both father and daughter, the mie to turn dark and the other nearly fall backward, as he added sincerely, "I know I can't be with you forever, so please let me enjoy a spring night with you." Hearing such disrespect, the king couldn't tolerate it any longer and shouted furiously, "Get out!" The shout seemed to echo throughout the palace. As the horse carriage entered the city, Lin Zuo excitedly said, "So this is Lantis City, it's really big." The city's population was bustling, and everyone watching live was amazed. "The 3D models are so lifelike. Where do you download this game?" Someone above said, "This is just a test. Finally in the city there must be tons of side quests here." When the carriage reached the city gate, it was stopped by soldiers, who asked, as per procedure, "Carriage ahead, halt, where are you coming from? What business do you have in the city?" Falanga stepped down from the carriage. She coldly asked the soldier, "Since when does Lantis City dare to charge entry tax on mages? The Sky Magic Conference has a rule that mages must not be taxed. They are all part of my convoy." Realizing the identity of the convoy ahead, the soldier quickly bowed and apologized. "Truly sorry, esteemed mage, please proceed." The carriage smoothly proceeded into the city. Two soldiers sighed in relief. "Phew, that was close. Never thought there'd be a day we'd try to tax a mage. And it was a mercenary group too, with a mage." After learning Falanga's identity, a child admiringly said, "Are you a mage?" The old man kindly said, "Thank you for helping us avoid the city tax." Falanga politely replied, "It's nothing, you're too kind." Suddenly she remembered. She hurriedly bowed and apologized to Li Alio. "I'm sorry, Lord, earlier I accidentally claimed the convoy as my subordinates. I apologize for any offense," he casually replied. "It's all right, don't worry about it." His eyes lit up upon seeing the bustling streetscape of the city. Observing the lively trade and bustling crowds, he enthusiastically said, "This otherworld street is so lively." Seeing so many customers, he realized, "This seems to be a famous shop in this otherworld." After leading them into the city, the old man bade farewell. "Lord, we must deliver our goods first. Farewell for now. If you need anything, you can find me at the mill outside the city," he casually replied. "All right, goodbye, old man." Falanga reported to him, "Lord, Please allow me to seek help from my uncle and assess the situation first. Then I'll formally invite you to the manor, he agreed. Sure, go ahead, I'll find a place to rest. Teresa also had a place in mind. I'll go to the cathedral for some prayers and rest, even Elizabeth chimed in. I'll visit the mercenary guild to handle some business, he agreed with everyone. Okay, I'll find an inn. See you in the evening. Sitting outside the carriage, he told Shuedi. All right, lead me to the inn, Shuedi dutifully replied. Yes, sir. With a mischievous grin, he thought to himself, hee, let's take a stroll later. Since I've already come to this other world, there's one place I must visit. Meanwhile, in another place, someone was sneaking around outside with some unknown scheme. In reality, at an apartment complex somewhere, Li Jing was sitting bored. Waiting on the side, a piece of paper was presented in front of her. Baiji said, Here, sign this. Baiji leaned down and told Li Jing, The police said your dad's illegal high-interest loan from the mafia has been declared null, even if it's just a small part of what he owes. But hey, it'll still ease your burden a bit, Li Jing replied emotionally. Boss Bai, thank you so much. Baiji hugged her affectionately and asked, Wanna be my personal secretary? Li Jing replied shyly. Boss Bai, stop teasing me. Seeing her adorable reaction, Baiji couldn't help but continue teasing. Oh wow, look at you blush. Baiji snapped a photo and sent it to the group, saying, I've helped our manager sort out the loan shark issue. Now everyone gets to see Ani-chan's face. Everyone chimed in with, Ani-chan is adorable, please. Manager's WeChat, please. Queen's WeChat, please. I don't want to put in effort anymore. Lin Jing picked up her phone and got quite a surprise when she checked the latest developments. The number of people in the group shot up. She quickly messaged the group. Why did the fan count on the livestream suddenly spike? Baiji also messaged back. For real, Zhu Yitang chimed in. I know why. He explained, I posted a vid of Big Lie Bros beating a boss. It got around 200 break views, probably drew in quite a bit of an audience for Big Lie. Another admiring fan replied, Yintang, you're amazing, thanks for the traffic pull. Baiji also praised Yintang, nice job. In the game interface, newbies were battling a boss in the test game. Only then did Lin Jing believe it. Wow, even though 200k views isn't a massive number, the comments are crazy. She messaged the group chat, Thanks, Yintang, for boosting the streamer. Someone else quickly added, Yintang, you're top-notch, Yintang just replied. Chill guys. Determined, Lin Jing said. I need to get my act back together. Being my brother's manager means I have to work hard. Let's see what he's up to now. Just as she checked in, she found her brother enjoying himself in a shady joint. He chuckled. This is great, haha. Everyone watching commented, Do I really get to see this for free? Lian Zuo defensively said. Cremon, visiting another world means you have to experience its infamous establishments, right? He was casually savoring the company of beautiful ladies. On his left and right, everyone kept buzzing. 666. The streamer is throwing out perks. Gotta hop on the bandwagon. Oh man, gotta join in now. The madam spoke up. Dear warrior, if you wish, we can offer special services like Elf Cos Magus. A mage in a stunningly alluring outfit coldly remarked, Don't touch me, you scoundrel. The live viewers were thrilled. Wow, I love it. Might call her more often after jumping on board. Upstairs, someone exclaimed. Big Lie's got Falanga already, also a mage, cold outside but warm inside. Ah, no, Ligzuo also commented. Wow, not bad, but I already have a mage teammate. The madam continued. We've also got the Beast Girl of Glory set so you can feel the joy of the other realm. But these quirky costumes were just too much to handle. Everyone poured in comments. We entrust the Beast Girl's smile to you all. Over to you, folks. Damn, lower floors, please do the honors. Noticing that he seemed unimpressed, the madam continued, Not interested. We also have lively, adorable maids. That maid turned out to be a praying mantis in a maid outfit, flirtingly saying, Master, I really want to. The viewers were temporarily blinded, all commenting, Damn, I can't handle this look, or, maybe it's not that bad. Upstairs added, Haha, your tastes are exposed. While I know people's tastes vary, humans shouldn't, at least, they can't. Seeing this, Li Jing's face darkened, angrily muttering, Big Lie, I've been working so hard as your manager, and you're off at a shady shop. What do you take me for? Right then, her phone buzzed with a notification. Her bank balance increased by 4,000 yuan. Transferred by... Silly brother. Li Jing perked up immediately, quickly saying, Big Lie, hurry and pick the mantis maid. I'll rally everyone to join for you. Meanwhile, at the Lantis Baron's estate, a servant announced, Miss Falanga has arrived. Falanga entered the estate gracefully, saying, "It's been a long time, my lord." Baron Lantis looked at her and said, "Oh, isn't it my niece Falanga? What brings you to visit your uncle in your free time?" After listening to Falanga's report, the Baron shouted, "What? The Archduke is dead, and the duchy has fallen?" Falanga continued, "Right now, the wall of faith is breached, the beastmen are ruthless, and the heartless Night Squad invades. Please mobilize the army to clear out the enemies and inform the king to dispatch troops for suppression." The Baron replied, "I understand. You've worked hard, my niece. Take a few days to rest. My son has wanted to meet you for a long time. We are family, after all, so let's get closer." Little Lantis rushed over and hugged her leg. She patted his head and said, "Fallon, it's been a while." Fallon, clinging, said, "Cousin, it's been so long since we last met." Fallon asked her, "Did you come back this time to marry me? My father said he wants me to be your husband." The Baron chimed in, "Indeed, take this opportunity to get married. Let's decide on passing down the Archduke title to our family early. I'm your uncle. I won't treat you poorly." Falanga, displeased, said, "Uncle, please stop joking. Marriage is a significant life event, not something to be treated like a jest." She loudly said, "Uncle, now's not the time for this discussion. The Western Territory is on the brink of collapse, and my father's body isn't even cold. The matter of the title should be decided by the kingdom's noble council instead." Seeing her unyielding stance, the Baron was inwardly furious, cursing, infuriating this ungrateful woman. He then turned on her angrily, ordering the guards, "How dare you, guards, detain her?" The guards obeyed, pointing their spears towards Falanga. Falanga threatened, "Who dares? I am the Archduke's daughter, a sorceress. The kingdom's law has no right to judge me." Fallon added, "Hey, you can't take her away. Cousin Falanga has to marry me." The Baron suddenly remembered, "Oh no, I forgot she's a sorceress. These men alone can't stop her." A bell rang out. Falanga grunted, her whole body seemingly controlled by that sound. Seeing a scarlet mark appear on her palm, she shivered and said, "The sacrificial mark has appeared again." She collapsed to the ground in pain, her face contorted, enduring the agony in her body. The bell ringer was none other than the cult leader of the Holy E, Morlesso. The Baron behind him joyfully said, "Thank you, Archbishop Morlesso," he coldly remarked. "It seems I've won, faithless one." He then turned around, instructing the Baron, "In a few days, arrange for your son to marry her. That way the Archduke title will be yours." He replied, "Yes, my lord," while Fallon gleefully exclaimed, "Wow, I'm going to marry cousin." Morlesso continued, reminding the Baron, "You will be the future Archduke of the Western Territories. The reward is the population of 2 castles," he answered. "No problem, my lord, he. Falanga angrily asked, "Isn't the Holy E one of the main religions? Why do you want the population of 2 castles? Morlesso cryptically replied, "Holy E, you truly know nothing. Do you know where we get our Holy E from?" "That's right, just like the man who sacrificed the duchy to your father." "Ha." Falanga, shocked, asked, "Sacrificing just like the one who sacrificed my father's duchy? What's your connection to that person?" He didn't answer but swung his arm towards her, saying, "Feel the power of the mystic. Once it's entwined with you, you'll think like us and become one of our followers." Falanga was enveloped by the ribbons of the Dark God, covered with countless human features. The ribbons wrapped tightly around her, leaving only her eyes exposed. The Baron reported to Morlesso, "My lord, according to the gate guards, Falanga was accompanied by a mercenary group. About that, he spoke with interest. Oh, looks like Falanga is in a hurry, hiring lowly mercenaries. Don't worry, I'll send the executioner nun squad to take care of them." Inside the cathedral of the Light Church in the city, Teresa was devoutly praying in the cathedral. An old man approached and said, "Oh, this is the Holy Light, this honorable nun, Chenot, this honorable being." "Who are you?" Teresa humbly replied. "I am merely a hermit, priest. I have a question for you. Why is the Light Church in this city so deserted, with barely any followers?" The old man answered, "Ah, well, the Light Church has never emphasized the Western regions. They didn't even send a head bishop here. The highest rank is actually held by me. The strongest sect here is the Holy Healer sect. Their leader controls the city lord and nobility. It's practically a monopoly. The executioner nun Maurer leads the executioner nun squad, executing anyone they disapprove of. Be careful, Honorable One. Ever since the gods stopped descending over 300 years ago, saints like you have become increasingly rare, Teresa asked suspiciously. More. After obtaining her answer, she left. The old man respectfully said, Take care, Honorable One. Teresa walked away, pondering the name. Nun Maurer. Ah. I remember now, over a decade ago, a young nun on a pilgrimage passed by my place. I personally cleansed her. She vowed back then to save humanity. Such a grand vow, something I'd been mulling over for hundreds of years. But it ended well. Following the wise Liu Feng, Maurer introduced herself in my memory. Honorable One, my name is Maurer. When Teresa stepped outside, a group of followers was waiting for her. They exclaimed in surprise, It's the Honorable Priest. Suddenly, a fragrance wafted through, and Teresa wondered. This strange scent. Outside, a group of fanatic followers exclaimed, Honorable Nun Maurer, I am willing to dedicate my life for you. Maurer walked amidst the worship and admiration of the followers. She was seated in a grand carriage with a group of attendants escorting her. Teresa thought to herself, Is this really Maurer? How did she become like this? Has she joined the executioner squad? What are they planning to do next? Meanwhile, at the pleasure house, hearty laughter echoed. Ha ha! Li Zuko was enveloped in the attention of beautiful women, his body covered in their lipstick marks. He joyfully said, This is pure bliss. The women beside him coyly teased, You're so naughty, he couldn't believe it. Is this really an otherworldly pleasure house? Suddenly, from behind, a drink was offered. The hostess explained, That drink is courtesy of the handsome gentleman over there. Lin Zuo was utterly stunned. The man raised his glass, took a sip, and said, Because I sensed it, we're of the same kind. Li Zuo asked him cautiously, And you are? Outside the custom shop, Shu Ti was waiting for him outside, thinking to himself, The captain's been in there for almost an hour now. Suddenly someone asked him, Is the captain of the cultivator mercenaries here? Shu Ti warily replied with a grunt. Suddenly someone asked him, Is the captain of the cultivator mercenaries here? Shu Ti warily replied with a grunt. But Shu Ti remained on full alert, raising his axe and shouting loudly, Who goes there? If you want to meet the captain, you'll have to get past me first. Shu Ti activated his self-control berserk mode, ready to face off against the opponent at any moment. He recalled the past when he was with his father. He had once innocently asked, Dad, how can I become a warrior? His father answered, Well, when you no longer rely on the shaman and can go into berserk mode on your own, you'll become a warrior of the tribe. Returning to reality, Shu Ti had self-berserked, his entire body radiating immense power, puffing clouds of steam with his heavy breathing, and a voice like a wind whistling, Come at me! Inside the custom shop it was still peaceful, laughter resonating all around, starkly contrasting the tense scene outside. Lin Zuo suspiciously let out an "oh." Glancing slightly in that direction, Shu Ti was suddenly sent flying inside by someone, his hefty body crashing into the wall, shattering it to pieces. Half an hour earlier, the shopkeeper was still smiling warmly. Li Zu and the man who claimed to be a fellow practitioner were casually raising their glasses for a toast. The man asked him, So you're the famous demon hunter, huh? Been admiring you for a while. No need, no need. At a glance I could tell we're birds of a feather, Li Zuo asked back. Fellow practitioner, E.H. The man began to recount. Once, for a mission, I entered a Minotaur's house. Unexpectedly. Halfway through, the Minotaur's wife came home unexpectedly. As a result, I got discovered. With no other option, I had to dispatch her. Li Zuo, thinking he misheard, said, Wait, what? Dispatch her? The man straightforwardly said, Yeah, dispatch her. He reiterated proudly, I dispatched her, right there. Lin Zuo then realized, Oh, that's what you meant by dispatch, the man continued. But right at that moment, her husband returned and caught me. Lin Zuo curiously asked, What happened then? A male Minotaur appeared, and this was no joke. Left with no choice, I had to take down his whole family. His face suspiciously flushed again. Yup, that's right, I took down their whole family. Lin Zuo felt like his worldview had just collapsed today. He gaped, murmuring, So it's true, huh? Only then did he give Li Zuo a precise explanation of what fellow fur enthusiasts meant. See, you like furry stuff, and you even have a Minotaur member. Aren't we all fellow enthusiasts? Li Zuo finally understood, realizing, "Oh, so that's the kind of fellow enthusiast you meant?" While they were joking around, he suddenly sensed a dangerous aura from behind, and following that was the sight of Shui Di being blasted inside, causing him to shout in shock, "Shui Di!" A foot arrogantly stepped on Shui Di's face, astonishing the two people inside. Nun Morer stepped in and declared, "By the order of the Grand Archpriest, here to capture Li Mizuo," she coldly added, "and carry out the execution on the spot." The shop owner saw her store being trashed and screamed, "What the heck? Don't fight in my shop!" The self-proclaimed fellow enthusiast with Li Mizuo curiously asked, "Executioner from the Holy Medicine sect, what did you do to provoke the main execution team?" Li Mizuo thought to himself, "What's even going on? Falanga just returned home, and now the church is at our door. Did something happen to her?" Seeing his teammate in trouble, he worriedly asked, "Zhu Dai, are you okay?" Zhu Dai could only curse. "Damn it!" The nun's lackey spun a wheel relentlessly against Shu Di's body, causing him to grit his teeth in pain and scream out in agony. Shu Di's entire body seemed to be crushed by that spinning wheel, his eyes strained as he endured the excruciating pain. Li Zuo saw the situation and yelled out worriedly, "Sui Dizan?" The guy next to him chivalrously said, "Since we're fellow enthusiasts, I'll give you a hand." That guy continued, "The opponent is a human cultivator. You need to use a steel sword, coat it with oil, and take anti-divine pills and slashing potions." Talk about professional. Is this what they call a demon hunter? Moore commanded her soldiers, "Charge!" The soldiers rallied, armed themselves, and charged toward them, ready for battle. Seeing that guy still calmly oiling his sword, Lian Zuo anxiously said, "The enemy's coming. Why are you still oiling your sword?" Yet the guy unhurriedly replied, "No rush, take it easy." Unable to wait for the slowpoke any longer, death looming, Li Zuo decided to handle it himself. He focused his yin fire, "Forget it, I'll do it," flying sword. The soldier, seeing him launch a counterattack, angrily questioned, "A heretic dares to resist?" Viewers watching live exclaimed, "Wow, a heretic hunt scene, isn't this despicable? Kill him, I'll be your captain. This executioner nun's gorgeous. New mission from the system. Overcome the execution team to become a ship captain." Lin Zudao, the typical guy chasing money, eagerly agreed. "Sure, as long as I get to be captain, I'll take down even a god for y'all." With just one move, the soldiers gained an extra slice across their necks, syrup splattering everywhere. A quick death with no time to prepare. Watching Li Zuo's display of strength, the shop owner thought, "So strong, taking down so many executioners with one move. What made him dare to confront the church so head-on? Doesn't he fear the church's terror?" The leader of those soldiers grew even angrier, never expecting a regular person like Li Zuo to fight back and attack the holy sect. "Where does this heretic find the nerve to defy the holy medicine sect? Go, executioner nun, let him witness the glory of the holy medicine god." Executioner Nun Morer, advanced second tier, brandished her sword confidently, not a hint of hesitation. The leader saw Morer as the trump card, excitedly urging, "Go, Executioner Nun Morer." By the time Lin Zuo finished off the first wave of the enemy troops, the guy fighting alongside him was still polishing his sword till it was gleaming. Must be OCD or something. All right. After all that oiling, the battlefield seemed deserted, no soldiers in sight, just lone Morer. He was dazed, asking, "How did the enemies turn into a priestess? I need to reapply the oil that increases damage against females." Li Zuo, frustrated, yelled, "Reapply oil again. Your title, Oiler, sure suits you well." The oiler patiently kept polishing his already shiny sword, calmly saying, "Patience, patience." But in the middle of the battle, who gives anyone a chance to prepare? Mausher had already raised her blade and charged fiercely at them. "Die, heretic!" Li Zugao had to intervene a second time. He couldn't count on that slowpoke. He focused his strength, and his sword struck forward. The sword shot towards the priestess at an astonishing speed. She tried to dodge the attacks from the sword, but it kept pursuing Manhwa relentlessly, making her struggle to evade each thrust. She thought to herself, "Again, what kind of technique is this? Being able to control a flying sword? Is he a sword enchanter?" No time to find the answer, as she had to dodge from one spot to another to avoid the sword's relentless attacks. Her clothes were starting to get tattered. Li Zhu noticed her agility, managing only to tear a bit of her outer clothes so far. He complimented, "Your dodging isn't too bad," but he continued coldly, My flying sword isn't that easy to evade. The viewers were enthusiastically commenting, "Oh wow, amazing, is that really the priestess's armor breaking? Defeated priestess, is this something I can actually watch? Armor breaking, armor breaking." At that moment, she started to unleash her trump card. Her whole body flared up with strange energy. "Holy garment, please grant me strength." The holy garment priestess Morer, transcendent first tier. Her appearance changed. Perhaps due to Lianzuo's strength, she resorted to this ultimate move. Back to the present. Before the livestream mic, someone was clearing their throat a few times. That blonde guy said, "Hello to all my little white cabbages. I'm the Grand Cabbage streamer of the Rookie Game Zone, primarily streaming high blood pressure games, a technical type streamer. I just earned 100,000 points, and the most popular Rookie Streamer award. Please follow me." His viewers cheered, Brother Cabbage, I love you, Brother Cabbage, I'm your little white cabbage. The lamer you are, the more I love." In the game, he was under attack, lamenting, "Oh man, I'm dead again, the other side must be hacking." The viewers commented, berating him, "Cabbage, you're playing dumb. If it's not cheats, then what? You're such a loser, Brother Cabbage." But passionate fans kept spamming, "The lamer you are, the more I love." Unbeatable livestream effect. Just then, one of his friends entered, announcing, "Cabbage, the MCN wants you to step up your game and stop being so lazy," he replied. "Oh, the viewers love these performances. I just casually act, and they're loyal to me like dogs." Picking up his phone, he was stunned to see Lianzuo's livestream had a massive audience. Why does a neighboring game livestream suddenly have so many viewers? Even your stream was affected, losing a third of its audience, Cabbage curiously asked. "Which livestream?" Upon seeing the view counts over there, he was genuinely shocked. "What?" He quickly snatched his friend's iPad and said, "Let me see. What game is being streamed?" Curious, he mumbled, "Gongdi Dailitu. What's that name? Could it be a battle livestream?" On the screen was the live image of the cultivator Maurer, with the comments overflowing below. "Newbie here, what game is this? Wow, that lady is awesome. Stage 2, pay attention." Simultaneously in the other world, Mokrir coldly declared, "The second bout begins," and viewers were urging excitedly, "Finish her off in one move, Mr. Streamer." But one fan, Wei Tang, was captivated by the priestess's demeanor. "Demon priestess sister, come crush me, I'm your puppy." Malmer swung her blade towards him, confidently saying, "Let me take your head." Seeing his opponent's buffed power, he realized the situation was slipping out of his control. He struggled to parry with his sword while glancing back at the sluggish guy still polishing his sword. "Not good, her level's way higher. Using the demon blade is quite exhausting." He urgently shouted, "Hey Ghost Hunter, are you done yet? Come lend a hand." But that guy still calmly replied, "Patience, my friend." Lianzuo decided he had to unleash his trump card, cursing under his breath, "Darn it, seems like I have to turn into the Dragon Lord." Maurer's current appearance was full of eerie aura, her voice chilling like it came from the underworld. "Surrender your life," Lianzuo felt irritated, thinking, "Annoying." Just then, her sharp blade was blocked by Teresa's hammer. The surprise left Maurer stunned. Teresa appeared once again to rescue Lianzuo, raising her hammer towards Maurer and said, "Stop, Priestess Maurer. Your current depraved appearance shames the holy Lucy Ammon." Maurer skeptically asked, "Who are you?" Lianzuo's eyes lit up with joy as he exclaimed, "Teresa, you're finally here." Lianzuo launched his next attack, ready to take on another one of my flying sword strikes. But this time, she caught the tip of his sword, smugly saying, "Gotcha." Casting a disdainful glance at Lianzuo, she remarked, "Your skill relies entirely on this demonic flying sword, without infusing any fighting spirit, so it can only bully low-level practitioners at best." Caught in the act, Lianzuo thought to himself, "Dang it, she figured me out. I don't have the mental technique for powering the flying sword right now." The leader of the soldiers wept passionately, "Look, this is a divine miracle, the holy miracle of our saint healers sect. We can peel the skin of a dead expert to venerate them, then wear it to merge and enhance ourselves." A viewer grumbled, "I can't stand him anymore. Somebody please off this guy, he's driving me nuts." Saint Lucian is a revered saint in our sect. Once defeating the demon lord under death itself, she ultimately fell to a fiend. Her skin is now worn by the priestess. What a divine miracle that is. Not giving him more time to babble, a sword pierced straight into his head. Lianzuo grumbled in frustration, Shut it, you moron. Manhwa surprisingly chimed in, yeah, I think Priest Miller is too loud too. Those voices are always clattering in my head, it's so maddening. Wouldn't it be simpler to just wipe everyone out? Teresa coldly reminded her. Behaving like that would embarrass St. Lucian. Manhwa swung her blade at Teresa, barking, shut up, you're not worthy of mentioning that name. Her state turned frenzied. St. Lucian's will merges with me through her skin. Leaping into the air, she unleashed her final move, the divine skin blade attack. But Teresa remained unfazed by the power she assumed was overwhelming. Although her hammer was sliced in two, Manhwa sneered, see that? This is the power that cuts through everything, bestowed by the great saint. Her skin wrapped around me, almost caressing. Seeing how talkative she was, Teresa stepped forward, clamped her mouth shut, and said, you've fallen, Manhwa. With just one strong move, Teresa slammed Manhwa to the ground, with enough force to crack the earth open. Her face was pressed tightly to the ground, eyes wide open in stunned disbelief. Teresa reminded her once more. Perhaps the important thing should be repeated thrice. You've fallen, Manhwa. Manhwa, unwilling to submit, retorted, what do you know? St. Lucian herself. Wearing a victorious look, Teresa coldly said, St. Lucian isn't dead, you've been deceived. Upon hearing this truth, she was left in shock. What did you say? The scene of their battle catching the eyes of onlookers. A nun takes down a senior priestess. I love a good fight. Religious secrets. Who exactly is this St. Lucian? Seems like the priestess with the scythe is a hardcore fangirl. Manhwa tried to stand up, but a burst of energy from Teresa hit her, making it tough to stay upright. Perhaps unable to accept this reality, she kept shouting, no way. This can't be true. You can't fool me. She's clearly dead. Killed by the great demon god. The moment she finished her sentence, she shot up, bursting through the ceiling to escape. Everyone gaped at the large, round hole in the ceiling. The viewers chimed in, analyzing the situation, sensing there's more to the story. The big picture is clear now. I support the nun. Wow, nun sis, you're awesome. Streamer, you're the best. I'm subbing to you. Once everything calmed down, the guy who took forever stood up, raising his sword polished to a shine, and announced, all right. Got my sword all oiled up, where's the enemy? Time to face your doom. Seeing no one around, he questioned, where's everyone gone, Lianzuo? Too fed up to care? Answered, bro, you're way too slow. They've all split. Suddenly, he froze, utterly shocked to see in his livestream room. A sudden spike in viewers made him exclaim, why are there so many viewers all of a sudden? As the fan count rose, new viewers flooded in with comments. Silly streamer followed. Hey assistant, don't block our nunsis on the stream, let her go live, I'll sub if I see nunsis. Meanwhile, behind him, Teresa was treating Shu Damu's wounds. She gently said, Shu Damu, relax, he remembered. Oh right, Shu Damu's injured. Teresa infused her healing energy into him, asking caringly, how do you feel now? New viewers were thrilled, commenting non-stop, oh my, nunsis is so gentle. Nunsis, my aura's gone all weird. Please heal it, nunsis. I need to confess, I once, with a dead fish, Liazuo helplessly remarked, why do I feel like the nun gets more love than I do? He continued reading viewer comments. Move aside, let the streamer go live. Nunsis, I fell, only your kiss can revive me. Upstairs, draw your sword, she's my wife. He beckoned Teresa over and said, Teresa, come here for a sec, she asked with a hint of doubt. Great sage, what's up? He whispered in her ear. Take off the blindfold, let your hair down, and say a few lines to me. She stammered through the sentences he taught her, then asked, thank you friends, if you like Teresa, please follow, subscribe, and I'll be your confessor. What language is this, great sage? The viewers, seeing her unveiled, were shocked. Oh wow, Nunsis looks even more stunning with her hair down, OMG. Nunsis, I'm subscribing now, I want to confess. Ah, is this a game? It looks way too real. Even Lin Zuo was stunned. Once she took off the headscarf, she's indeed gorgeous. Yi Jing, observing the situation, was equally surprised. What's going on? Suddenly, both viewers and fans surged dramatically. Suddenly, over 20 people subscribed. Lin Zuo suggested to Teresa, why not debuts as a streamer? But Teresa, clueless about his proposal, replied, great sage, did I do something wrong? On the other side, Baikai's manager worriedly said, this isn't good, our report's ineffective, and the opponent suddenly topped the rookie chart, surpassing us. Determined, Baikai declared, darn it, I'm going live right now to pull back the viewers and heat.